What is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Sparza, coming to you. What is this, live? This is Best Coast Time 411. We're about to see Kai Kamaka versus Tony Kelly. Very excited you guys are joining us this beautiful afternoon. I will tell you this. We have a lot of work to do. We will see a lot of your input today because we've been putting up a lot of polls. And unfortunately, if you were looking to get in on our little prize, our entry thing, it's going to close the second we get into this very first fight. So just to let you guys know that it will come to a close. I'm very sorry that you didn't act fast enough, but that's where we're at. So to those of you who are watching over on Periscope, hello, you may not know me. Stick around. We're going to be watching along with UFC 252 tonight. My name is Rafa Sparza. I host a show called The Grappling Hour. If you're new to this, you may also know me from Verbal Tap. If you don't know me at all, that's okay too. But tonight you're going to get to know me because we're not going anywhere. We have a lot of fights to get through. This is going to be a lot to witness. First and foremost, you've got DC, who is potentially going to retire with lots of crying. Plus, we've got so many different people who we're excited to watch fight. We can get even more excited about watching Jim Miller and Vince Pichel, who are both friends of the show. So this is going to be a very, very interesting night as we make the first walkout for the featherweights between the ages of 25 and 33. So the way this works is pretty simple. We always give a toast to those who get finishes within regulations. So that means if a fighter gets a knockout or a submission, then we give them a cheers. We give them a nice little toast. But we also do that for you guys. If you guys give us a like and a share on Facebook, we will do the same for you. And if I happen to miss it, because sometimes I do, sometimes I'm busy doing multiple things here, wearing multiple hats. I am both the Joe Rogan and Jamie on this broadcast. But if you so happen to see that I missed you and didn't give you the proper toast that you are deserved and should get, then hit me in the comment section and let me know. I'm more than happy to remedy that on air. Both gentlemen are starting to walk, which now means we are officially done with accepting on the preliminary portion of our betting areas. So very excited for the people who signed up. We're going to be giving away one rash guard from our sponsor, and I'm very happy to be able to do that thanks to our sponsor, one, No-Gi Jiu-Jitsu. No-Gi Jiu-Jitsu, I mean, No-Gi BJJ gear, if you go to them, you get yourself something to go and replace yourself with, because guess what? You might have gotten too fat during Corona, or you just want to get some new gear. Both applicable reasons to go on over and get yourself something new. Buy yourself something pretty. You deserve it. All right, here we go. Beginning of round 1 of 3. We start off the nice touch of gloves between the two, and you've got Kamaka in a blue trunk and Kelly in the black trunks. Kelly putting together a nice combination to begin with. A series of good kicks also as well. Let me see here. That's why you only have 6 viewers. Come on, dog. Oh, man. That's why you only have a high school education at best. You don't even know how to yell or read right. Good for you, though. Pushing through. It's more than that. You just need to figure out where else they're looking from, dummy. 4:20 left to go in this fight in the first round. Nice kick over by Kelly on that. That's followed up by a very, very solid combination by Kelly. I like the angles that Kelly's cutting here. Kamaka swats him with a left. Nice chopping of the leg by Kelly. Continues to do so a few more times. See if maybe he can get that good low kick going. Coming over with the top right hand to see if he can get him and stagger him just ever so slightly. I like the kicks here. Very nice. Both of the gents stuff and eat one very quickly over on this side. Good combination. Kelly ducks up for just a split second. Now grabs a clinch, and Kai almost gets the double unders here and starts working from there. And tonight it appears that we have on the call Joe Rogan, John Anik, and Dominic Cruz, which is my preferred trio at this point. Believe me, if DC could commentate this one, he would do that one as well. Ooh. Kelly's combinations look very nice. I like that he's mixing up between the kicks and the strikes, but Kai holding strong, gets a nice pop to the face right then. Nice, starts to back him up a little bit. Kelly pushes back off. Takes a moment to swat his hair away, which really isn't in his face all that much, if you're being honest. Nice. Kai connects. Kelly seems to look like he didn't really eat it that much. Returns with a kick, which has been the most successful element of his game thus far in. Nice, nice. Takes him over to the center now. Returns back center of the octagon. Nice combination series here. Thank you guys for joining in. Appreciate you watching along with us this evening. We're going to be here all night, so don't get it twisted. We will be here. And feel free to hit me up in the comment section. We've already had one troll in. We're going to have more throughout the night. And we're going to know for sure none of them are going to be funny. Nice. Kai starting to piece him up a little bit. Kelly responds with the knee, but Kai is able to get this savage single leg and does a great tie-up here. Kelly gets one butterfly, two butterfly hooks, starts to stand up against the cage, gets back up over there, and it gets this distance, but he's still got 90 seconds left in this round. This is not an easy round to go ahead and try and pull up. What's up, G-Baby? Thank you very much for the heart. As we will remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share, you will get... you will get a toast on air, and Kai is starting to light up Kelly. Nice. I think that Kai is really starting to affect Kelly right now. You're seeing Kelly take in a few shots that he does not want to take. And just looking at the difference between the leg strikes, it is 22-13 on the upper body, whereas Kelly's tried to range it out between the top and the bottom, meaning headshots and the leg strikes. However, it is clearly looking like Kai's round. Kelly trying for that nice little armbar that I like to do whenever somebody's really annoying me. Get that nice little arm stuck right then and there. I like this. Yo, blah, blah. 123. Yeah, I'm going to go live in 15 minutes and show the fight. Follow me. Let me see right here. Look at that. This guy's got to come and try and steal viewers right now. I love that. Thank you. What is this? Blah, blah. 123, which is definitely not just created out of nowhere. Good luck to you and your illegal stream. And we reach the end of the first round. Decent action thus far in, though. If I'm judging on that one, I would assume that Kai is going to take that one. I wouldn't say without any good reason, but I mean, the significance in the strikes that he's had thus far in has been really impressive. And here's what's nice that we can go and bring up to your knowledge and your edification, which is that we usually have been doing polls before we end up doing these shows. So when we do the polls, we like to see what the pulse is for people. We like to see if you guys have a certain person or fighter that you seem to be favoring. And we do have a result to go ahead and show you guys right now. So before we close down the polling, we were showing that at 42% you guys were supporting Kai, whereas 58% of you were going for Kelly. So we're going to come back and revisit that. But thus far, Kai is looking really solid. And I think it's going to take something for Kelly to really get some good cornering advice within these few minutes that he is off. So let's see. They will be very significant either way live. All right. We go into our second round. My thanks again for you guys for watching along with us. 455 on mine, and you're already seeing Kai working really solidly. Shaheen says Kamilka's body shots came the closest to finishing. I mean, they weren't super far off from finishing. He definitely was staggering Kelly over here, and with good reason. So we'll enjoy seeing that as we continue to watch on. Megan, thank you very much for your share. We'll give you a cheers in just a little bit. You know how this goes. Ooh. Let me see over here. If your name was on every poll, I would vote for you, Raph. That's great. It would 100% be wrong, but I don't even know I would vote for me. I'd probably go to Vegas and be like, I'd like to put 50 on the other guy. But it means a lot. Thank you very much, G. If you guys aren't listening to his show, he just premiered a brand new show where he is commentating old school sporting events. It sounds really cool. I still haven't gotten to listen to it. I promise I will. I will make time this week, G baby. But you can also check out his other podcasts. Cover your mouth and look at that. Even with what looks like an insignificant strike there by Kai, he staggers Kelly, who loses a little bit of his balance. That momentum is going quite nicely for Kai in this round thus far in. Woo. Kelly looking okay. Looks like he's mostly recovered, but Kai coming back in with a stiff jab over to the face right there. Kai's boxing looks real nice, and he covers up at the right times here. Every time you're looking between him and Kelly, he seems to block the brunt of most of the attacks that he's getting here. Oof. I think we're starting to see Kelly get a little tired right now. He just, every time he eats one of these kicks or these punches, you just see a little bit of life deplete out of him. And on a feint right there, he seems to really juke out Kelly with Kai's movement just being so interesting and fun to watch, man. I mean, he's now starting to relax into it. It looks like a really solid session, almost like you see within the gym. Says, appreciate the shout out. We also have a stand-up gig live on Facebook as well, and we'll be on YouTube soon. First 30-minute set. So happy to hear about that, but don't take away my viewers. What are you, somebody from Periscope? Get out of here. Is there going to be a replay? Watch the replay. Ooh, Kelly started to put up some offense now. Now putting on over on Kai. Kai eating it pretty okay. Looks good again, but I don't think he likes a lot of these kicks to the midsection now that are starting to take him in. And now this is turning into a much nicer fight. Kai coming in, getting a double underhook over on this side, pushing Kelly against the cage, wanting to stuff the majority of his ability to just kick and punch at this point. Gets a good takedown here. It's going to work from half. And almost seems like the reward is if he is taken down, then guess what? He doesn't have to worry about eating any kicks or punches, which is not the worst strategy. Kelly, for a split second, was looking to see if he could maybe impose some of his elbow strikes over on that side as he's starting to try to get up. Maybe questioning, grabbing the fence over on that side. You're seeing Kai try to take the back. More so than that, just creating a sense of weight and urgency to make sure that he doesn't get up. Kelly gets stood up and is trying to get some rabbit punches in there. Doesn't get much for it. Kai, still with good control, is now starting to see his grips a little bit evaporated. So instead, for a split second, he almost wants to revert to maybe going into a single leg, but now has to be content with an underhook that's allowing him to just keep Kelly in place. You are seeing over on Kelly's face a little bit of blood dripping out. So that has only happened within the takedown. Now on this one, significant strikes. This is interesting. It is still ahead for Kai at 32-25. With that takedown and the strikes being very close, though, it still looks like it could be his round, even though some of the better strikes or the most impactful strikes of this round have come at the end of Kelly's. So this is really important with these last 18 seconds of the second round for him to make a really good impression, because Kai could potentially still win the round. I mean, he is definitely trying to make up for good and lost time. These knees over to Kai are starting to slow him down a little bit, where he is paused, and we are going to go to a third round, but it did look like Kai stopped almost entirely for that split second. It says, I'm promoting the replay. Watch the Grappling Hour now. Thank you very much, G baby. See, what a true gentleman. If you give me a photo or something, if you send me that, I can promote it somewhere. And I'm not going to look for it. It's too hard. I'm talking to people. This cheers goes on out, though, to Megan. Megan, thank you very much for giving us a nice little first share of the evening. fun story. Megan was the first person to tell DC, hey, maybe you shouldn't try yelling into the microphone when you're doing commentary. Cheers to you, Megan. We thank you for your service. I just always feel like every time DC's on the play for commentary, he's just way too excited to tell you something. I'm just like, oh boy, man, I can't wait to tell you about this. And it's like, just tell us what it is. Use your inflection to tell us you're excited. Don't say I'm excited. Just do it. Boof. Anyway, that's just my overall observation on DC. We've had some people being like, why can't you go for DC? And I'm like, I just don't care. Like, I like him and Stipe a lot. So whoever wins, good luck to them. Congrats. You did something super good. Watch along with us this evening. We are now in the third round, and it is becoming a little bit of a war. I think they told Kelly, hey, man, you might be behind. So whatever energy you've got, you got to let go right now. And he is coming in way more aggressive. Kai gets the takedown over on this side, and he's going to start working from inside of a very loose guard of Kelly. And we are saying hello to our friends over at Verbal Tap. By the way, thank you along for watching with our friends right now. We're super stoked that you're coming along for this journey. Appreciate that, Megan. Very nice. 4-14 in this third round. Ugh. Now this is going to be a really ugly round because we will spend a little bit of time here in this guard. And you will see, when I mean ugly, I mean just look at the difference in the styles. You're seeing, let me see, what time does Chris fight? Which Chris? Hold on. Give me a second. I'll get back to you. If you are talking about Chris Docus, that is coming up after this round. So I would assume you've got maybe about 10 minutes before Chris makes his way up. So hopefully that answers your question. Thank you very much for it. Grafuna won. But yes, he's almost trying to do a weird for a split second he thought about that. Appreciate you, how you feel about that fight. I'm interested in it. You know what's funny is we had a lot of our fans not really know how to go on that one. I'll show you guys the poll results when we get to the next one after this fight. With 3 minutes left to go, though, I like this. The two of them are really starting to battle out. I mean, listen, at this point, everything that either of them has had, they're now starting to bring out their entire wheelhouse. You're seeing way more kicks by Kelly, but now he's combining it with a bunch more strikes. This has been a way better performance by Kelly in this third round. I mean, if he's strong enough here, he could potentially end a fight. So you're seeing Kai now start to come in with some uppercuts and going right back to the wheelhouse of getting the single leg. Meanwhile, you were seeing Tony Kelly trying to get kind of like a crucifix off of this, seeing if he could get maybe that Kimura control from up top. Does not get it. Now you're seeing continuous pressure from Kai, still working to get this takedown. As for a split second, you did see Kelly debate on if he was going to get some elbows in here. 82 significant strikes for Kelly compared to 90 for Kai. Now, this is where it's going to get dicey. This third round is going to be very, very important considering that second one is, and Matt Brown has chimed in on the telecast saying, what a great fight to start the night. I would have to agree with that. Woo, nice, nice. Man, you know, it's not like we wrote off Kelly in the last rounds. We just saw, was that a questionable headbutt? But we did see him getting a little walloped in there, and to find his fight and to look so aggressive in this third round when, for a split second, I wasn't sure if that was going to be good for Kai. Kai looked like he took one to the nether regions, so they're going to take a moment to talk it out, and also so that he can go, you know, rest. Hey, maybe you should share this stream for Rafshi, baby. Oh, shit. Look at that. Raf promotes you. The least you can do is promote him, G, baby. I think that's what she's... You know, I'm not putting words in people's mouths. I'm just saying what they're supposed to be doing. Go, go, go. Oof. Well, This is always like, anytime they duck down to talk to the fighter after they've been kneed in the midsection, it looks like they're getting the talk. You know, like, son, you may notice as you get older some changes in your body. It's okay. It's perfectly natural. You good? Okay. This is a really awkward conversation. I don't want to have this with you. So we're still waiting for them to air out their 5 minutes, which are always fun for us to kill here on the show. Anytime I see them do that, I just think, well, you know, let's get out your astrology books, everybody. We're going to do some horoscopes. We're going to talk about our favorite movies. But I do want to bring up, well, where did we leave off on that one, though? I'm going to see if I can get you guys numbers and scores throughout the entire evening. And what I mean numbers and scores on a short amount of time is that we will be implementing throughout the evening some notes from your guys' poll results. So what I mean is, check this out. Earlier this evening, we had people voting throughout who they thought would win on these fights. So earlier, Grafuna 1 was asking, who do we see as having it, or what do you think about the fight? And what I'll tell you is that even our audience isn't quite sure on where to go with it. We got 41% for Docus and 59% for Porter on this one. So it'll be a very close race according to our audience. And we return back to the action right now. I'm also going to make sure to change the banner because I forgot. That's what happens when you do these things. Sometimes you forget. It's not supposed to be that one. We need the lit up octagon photo to make this one work. 1:10 left to go, and Kai has gotten a reprieve to get some energy in him. And these two now are just, man, they're going like it is the first round. That is how impressive the two of them look right now. Each of them just seeming to eat each other's punches and strikes at this point. And I think, unfortunately, it's going to come at the cost of Kelly's momentum. Kelly was looking really solid in that very beginning of the third round here. And I think the slowdown has made him start to almost go back to a pace that he was almost in the first round, which is not great for him. Got 25 seconds here. Let's see who's going to leave a mark. Kai's just trying to score some points here, I think. I think he's just trying to make sure that he's ahead on these strikes. Kelly comes up with a kick that doesn't reach anybody, and we are slowly winding down. All right. Well, that is going to be the fight, everybody. So just to remind you guys how you saw this one initially going, and doesn't that look like a better background? Just to remind you guys how we are going to be looking at things this evening. Earlier today, you guys did not really, and I mean this as much as I can, you did not seem to give Kai a chance, though it was close at 42% against Kelly's 58%. There are a handful of you guys who could see that this man might have some heavy hands on him. So we're very excited to see how this one is going to play out when we get back to the results. But things look promising for the 42% underdog to all of our friends who are watching along right now. All right, let's remove that on out. Anyway, I guess what I'm going to start asking you guys is, what are you most excited for? Aside from DC and Stipe, is there any other match that you guys are excited about tonight? Hit me up in the comment section because I would love to hear what you guys are excited about. And Grafuna is going to be excited about this next fight, which very stoked for that one as well. But like I just showed on our poll results, people are almost in the exact same spot, feeling that Chris is the underdog on that one, just by a small margin, but enough for us to comment on. All right, they are going to get ready to give us an overall fight result in just a second. And then we're also going to be going on Instagram momentarily. We know that these are busy nights, so we try to engage everybody who is along and watching for the ride. And as a reminder, give us a like and a share on Facebook. We give you a toast on air as we go octagon side to get the result, and the numbers come in as follows. All three judges scored 29-28 for Kai Kamaka, indeed. Yes, good for him. That means that it was as close as we thought it might have been. And a lot of respect there by one Tony Kelly, who goes over and is just kind of like, hey, man, you hit for real, dude. Good for you. He's all smiles. They're going to take a moment to go ahead and get him on over for an interview, which means that it's plenty of time for us to set up our presence online. So let us get back on the Instagrams. Let us say hello to some friends on there, so that way everybody can watch along and have fun with us. So I'm also going to be shouting out the few people who get these fights right, because we have done poll results. Whenever we do poll results, y'all don't know that I watch. I look to see how good you guys are at these things. Not everybody's really good, if we're being honest. So let me go ahead and pull this out right now. So let's give some credit to one Drew Sklove, who was able to see through that. Drew Sklove, right on the ball. Also, referee Mike Bell had an insight that Kai was going to be able to pull that one out. So kudos to the two of them. And friend of the show, Andrew Alexander, was also right on the call on that one. So the gents are now in the back getting ready, and you've got, it looks like a dyslexic version of saying Peter Parker, but you got Parker Porter about to make the walkout in just a few minutes. So very excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and put us on the Instagrams in just a second, but feel free to chime in. Your comments help to make this show amazing, as we have to kill time always whenever there is a fight in between. We're also going to make sure to share this on all of our platforms. We're not just on here. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, and we are on Periscope. And as you know, on big fight nights like this, people just show up on like Periscope out of the blue. A lot of them are just looking for the fights. So get excited for them to be yelling about whatever is in their hearts tonight, because most of the time it's drunk and incoherent, but it's always funny to us. And mostly they're just yelling because they want you to turn the camera around, which normally sounds like a weird sicko fantasy. But, you know, Periscope people going to Periscope. What are you going to do? All right, let's put this thing on. Oh, that actually looks pretty good today. Look at that. Lighting, look at this. Shine asking me who you got winning the co-main and main, bro. Well, thank you, Shine. This one's not as much as I see a clear indication, and here is why. I'm going to tell you my pick, and then I'm going to walk it back a little bit. Here's the pick. I would like to see Stipe win, if only in that I'm kind of tired of DC, and that I like him as a person. I think he's a good guy. I think he's fun. I would rather he not always be on commentary, but that's just my own personal preference. But I love him with the telestrator. I love him talking about the moves. I think the difficult thing to understand here is, with fighters over 35, understanding the impact that COVID has on their training, especially for one of them who could potentially be eating cake all the time, and another who's a firefighter. I don't know where they're at. It's really hard to tell. And I actually felt really good about DC walking in at a, all things considered, slender-eyed version of himself, which is closer to how he used to fight, I think, in one of his other fights. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping that Stipe does it, because I would like to see him continue to beast it up a little bit while we still got him. And then in co-main, man, there is so much hype around Sugar Sean. My thoughts exactly. They're both so hungry for this. When it can go either way in a blink. Absolutely, dude. And you can't sleep on DC. What I would love to see him do tonight, though, is get in and wrestle a little bit. And I don't ever agree with Ben Askren, but the one thing he did tell him that is kind of funny is he said, hey, man, you know you can wrestle, right? Like, just know that's something you could do, because that seemed to be the criticism for DC. I just feel like DC has been on his way out mentally for a little bit. When you tell people that you're done at 42 or 40 and then you continue to fight past 40, you know, are you really there? I think the thing that honestly is keeping him going is wanting to be in that conversation, that legacy, that GOAT conversation. That's been the big push for him. And I got to be honest, man, I like him comparing himself to Michael Jordan is, nah, bro, let's not do that. Having said that, his career is legendary, man. what can you say about the guy? He's beaten high caliber people, and I think that he has a really solid argument about. So I'm stoked for that, as I am for the rest of the fight. But I would say in the co-main, ooh man, co-main, I still want to ride high on the Sugar Sean, man. I don't want that party to end. You know, looking at the record though of Marlon Vera, I can't overlook it. Like, that's a really good fight they put together, just period. Marlon's had some unfortunate aspects of trying to find a dance partner during Corona, and I feel for the guy, but I think that he won the lottery getting the co-main slot on this. His last fight was a loss decision against Song Yadong, and, you know, what are you going to do? It's not the worst thing in the world. It's a good fight of the night, but he's also got, what, a 15-6-1 record, which isn't bad. I don't know. I would have to say I think the momentum is on Sugar Sean. I can tell you for sure the UFC hopes it is Sugar Sean. But yes, they're both legends, but I'm going for Stipe, as you should, man. And I don't really know if there's a bad answer in this one. I had a lot of people try and give me shit because I was saying I don't mind if DC loses. And they're like, what? You know how much this means to him? And I'm like, what does that mean to me? What the fuck does it matter? Like, Jesus Christ. It's like DC's my friend that I like suddenly turn against. And I'm like, bro, I don't know him personally. I hold no ill will towards these people, but y'all can root for whoever you want to, man. It's like worse than saying anything political. You'd be like, I'm going against DC. Are you saying that all Stipes matter? No? The Stipe matters? That doesn't sound good either. Well, yikes. All right. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys. I'm also going to go ahead and make sure we share this over on our other places that we've got up, which includes, my friends, on the different elements of Periscope. So we are now at the official weigh-in for Chris and Parker, and very stoked to see how this one will play out, as we have somebody who's very excited about this one. So anytime we get people who are excited about a fight, I get more excited about it. Now we're going to go on over for some introductions, and I want to hear from you guys. Tell me in the comment section. And again, reminding you guys watching on Facebook, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you guys a cheers, a toast on air. So let's keep this party going. We are just very early in the evening. And here we go. Boom. Live. All right. Whoosh. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rav Esparza. We're coming to you live right now. It is 4:44 Best Coast time. We are in the second fight of the preliminaries, or the prelims, if you want to call it that. We're watching along over on a series of different places. We've got this show going on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope. So wherever you're watching, we want you just to feel like family. What's up, Drew? So we are going to have a lot of fights here to watch. And as you guys know for sure, every time there is a fight that ends in a finish, we toast those fighters who get the finish. We will also be giving toast to those who share us and like us on the Facebook. Why Facebook? I mean, it's the one I see the most, honestly. But now I can see all of your comments everywhere. So we input those into the fights. We begin round one of Docus versus Porter. And again, this was one that you guys thought was going to be a close one. This is from FPWC. Hello from Paris. Hello, Paris. Good to see you guys. Never been. Heard you're great. If I'm being honest, probably won't be. Just because, you know, travel, coronavirus. Anyway, don't want to get off on that one. Megan Johnson. These guys are huge. I'm going to predict we see a knockout on this one. That would be nice. I'd like to be able to cheer somebody who gets a finish. Usually makes for better television for us, better television for the UFC. And these are guys who, you know, Corona hasn't affected them. I'm just going to say it. I think they would fight the same. Maybe a little smaller, but I think these are the least affected people of the coronavirus. And right now, Docus is coming in violently with these overhand rights. Let me see. When do the good fights start? Oof. I'd like to give you shit, but we're starting off rough on this one. Let's say this. I would never call a fight between Jim Miller and Vince Pichel a shitty fight. However, that's not happening for about another hour and a half. So you can take your time to come back if you need to do that. But yes, Jeffrey, we've got some good fights. Let's be nice to these people. Big guys need fight money too. Ooh, nice overhand right by Docus, who backs away, bringing Porter center back. I'm also trying to get a read on Porter's tattoos here. Like, they're just really awkwardly presented. Like, part on his left sleeve almost looks like it's seaweed. You know the seaweed that used to kill you in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game? That's what it looks like. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. Nice uppercut, though. Chop of the leg over by Docus. Docus looking very comfortable in the cage thus far in. But as Megan mentioned earlier, the real devastating moment of this whole thing is the fact that it can go either way, just on how powerful they can be. Let me see. Will people be showing the fight on Periscope? I'm not in charge of that. You won't see the fights here. You're more than welcome to get me doing play-by-play throughout the evening. If you need to go elsewhere, totally understand. But no, we will not physically show the fights on here, as that would be a problem for me, a person who knows many of the people who fight and work for the UFC. So if you like this and you're into old-timey radio, join along or watch along. If you're going to be watching somewhere else, we're more than happy to have you stay around. What is up, Raul? Good to see you, sir. How's everything going with the team? I've been seeing you guys be monsters, getting after it every single day. So happy for you and Dutch fam. We are watching with the fights this evening. Thanks to me. Thanks to you, Jeff. 142 left to go over this way. It's not a crazy amount of action that's happened thus far in, but hey, you know, we'll get through it. I may just order the fight. Hey, that's awesome. Order the fight. Stick around with us. Oh, Docus working overtime. Knocks down Porter for a split second. Looked like they were thinking about stopping this one, but Herb Dean lets him fight his way back up. He gets back up. I don't know, though. Things are looking nice for Docus. Just the way Docus has put together his strikes has made me a little bit more confident in his ability. So let's see if he can do it again, though. That's the real big question, because Porter is trying to fight back. Strikes aren't as crisp, but it only just takes one with guys these heavy. We've seen it time and time again. It's also, ooh, nice. Right as I say that, he kind of staggers him a little bit back. 44 seconds left to go in this first round. Now combinations set for it by One Docus. Doing a great job. What is up, CJ Hanratty? Is that the real name? Yes, and Docus actually does get it done. For a split second, I looked down to see your name and try and pronounce it properly, and I lost watching the end of that fight. Yikes. I don't blame you a lot. I blame you like a little bit. But anyway, that's not your problem. Docus was looking good in that fight. So we do have a toast to do here in a second, which I'm very excited to be able to do. Who won on that one? Docus won. Dominantly, too. He looked real solid. He pieced him up a couple of times, man. Peter Parker Porker just, oof, it's the knee that ended up doing him in. Yep, boom, boom. He was already on Dream Street with this combination here. Goes up against the cage and then gets met with a knee off the bounce of it. Let's never see that again. Anyway, I forgive you, CJ Hanratty. It's okay. Now I've seen the end of the fight. Beautiful thing about instant replay. You're still going to see it somehow. Chris doing good. Chris has won, my friend. So, do you know Cyril Gain? I can't say that I do. I'm also really bad with names, so it's entirely possible. I just always say I don't, and then if you tell me something that distinguishes how I could have known, then I'll tell you truthfully. But I just figure it's better to be honest and say I don't think so. What do I need to know about them? FPWC. FPWC sounds like a really cool soccer organization, by the way. And as a reminder to you guys, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air. So don't forget that. We want to make sure that we are following along. We have to do a cheers toast to Chris Docus in just a second. What's up, Sean? For beasting his fight. And we always give a nice little congratulations to the guys in the form of Raf gets to drink beer. So that is what I got going on. But yes, Chris did real good. Just to remind you. Super good. Like one good. Like got a knockout. And people are going to be very happy for him, which means we're also going to get to talk to him in a second. So super stoked for that. Sean, you watching the fights along with us here tonight? Are we helping with you in the commentary section? Are we going to do anything in particular? You have any requests? Not that I'm going to do it. Not that I'm going to sing. It's not really my thing. I like singing, but, not on these things. I'm indeed excellent. I like that. All right, cool, man. Well, tell us what you're excited about for tonight. Tell us what you're feeling on that. He is a new guy, heavyweight from France, the sparring partner of Ngannou, and he is a beast, even better than Francis. Well, now that you put me onto that, I better know him. I sound like a dummy for not knowing him. Thank you for putting that up to me. I appreciate that. Enjoying watching two fat gentlemen hit each other. Hey. Listen, relax. That's what people say when I roll against my co-host, Kevin Phillips, on a verbal tap. And we don't like to judge, man. We're all at a corona weight right now. So let's not judge harshly. Doesn't the Bible say, least not judge thee for being fat when thou is as fat as thee? Yep, that works. Okay. I like this, though. What is this? Cyril Gain. Don't forget his name. I will, but that's only because I'm stupid. But I will definitely do my part to do more research on him so that I'm better informed. But I like it when audience members can come, give me some new information, tell me some new things about fighters. Because, listen, dude, one of the best parts about doing these live things is that we all get to be honest and say, like, I don't know this person, but I'm going to get to know these people by the end of the night. So they're interviewing Chris right now. I'll give you a summary of what they're talking about with him. Oh, no. Chris Docus was saying that he almost crashed his car. And somehow he was able to still find his way to make it over to the octagon. Jesus Christ. Joe's complimenting his right hand within the tight spaces. Already Joe Rogan is interviewing way better than all the other guys have been doing the socially distanced interviews. And it does look like they're making him do it for real, though. What's up? Anad loves jiu-jitsu. Welcome to the show. Takashi 6'9" by submission. I can't tell, but if I'm guessing, does that sound like you're going for Sugar Shane on that one by calling him Takashi? Chris Docus getting on out on that side. Good for him. Exactly, dude. I'm a new sub. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Let me know what else you'd like to see on today's show. But yes, Megan brought up a very important part, which is hashtag Corona Weight Strong. Now, I'm a huge advocate of embracing your Corona weight, understanding we're not all able to train as we like to do, things being as they are. We're all doing the best we can. So if you go to Nogi BJJ Gear, buy yourself a rash tag that says you're the Corona Weight Champ. Make your friends tell you that you're not. So this is weird. They're doing a series called This Is 40, narrated by John Anik. Eesh. John Anik essaying the metaphorical D of Tom Brady. Who could have ever seen that coming? You've gained a follower, sir. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that, man. We love seeing this. Look, FPWC coming in, Sean coming in. We've got friends and fans all over the place. We're just trying to have a good time. Because, the hard part is you can't go watch this at the bars. In some situations, you can't even watch this with the friends that you love having over. So we just want to go ahead and do this. What's your prediction? Justin versus Khabib. This comes from FPWC. And on that one, oosh. In my heart, I want Justin by Extreme Violence. And he put up some sort of weird, man, you got to go to the danger zone. And when you're in the danger zone, that's when you become the zone. Call me Junior, bro. What's up, Junior? Yeah, I just feel like Khabib has a nice little perfect record that I really don't care if he keeps it or not. Excellent fighter, sometimes boring, but super impressive at what he does. I would just love to see Justin get in there and kind of mix it up with him. So this is Danny Brown versus Chavez. Danny Brown versus Chavez. Well, I'll show you the results in a second that are going to be coming up for our fan vote. That one's not going down for another couple fights, but I want to make sure I'm doing that one right. Danny Brown versus Chavez. We'll come back to this. Cormier, the Corona champ, win or lose? I'm hoping he loses. I'm all about that immigrant mentality. Let's go, fucking Stipe. I don't mind either way, honestly. Like, I just want it to be a good fight. It's a good trilogy. What's up, DJ KJR? Thank you for joining this. Yeah, I agree, but Khabib is a different animal. Listen, he didn't get to having a perfect record just by nothing, man. He is a different beast. I actually have wondered, though. I said this on our podcast ages ago. I said, if his dad does go, and unfortunately he did pass, I do wonder where his motivation and how you train during those sorts of times. Getting back in the gym helps you to get through some of your grieving process, but that was a really close and special bond. And I actually said, you know what? That actually would affect him more than most fighters' offense. So that's kind of what I've been looking at. I'm just hoping for a good fight, but I agree. Thank you very much for your comment. What is this? Garifuna 1 prediction for the next fight. Pain. No, the next fight is going to be Ashley Yoder versus Liva Renata Souza. And I would tell you on that one, our audience seemed to think that Yoder was behind on that one. I'll pull up the exact result for you guys in just a second. Actually, no, they had Yoder at 63 or 68% to 32. I don't know. I agree with that. I'd like to say Souza will do a better job, but I don't think it'll be as one-sided as our audience thinks. I did have Yoder as my pick. Who did you guys have on that one? I would love to hear it. And again, we'll be able to show you, if you're watching over on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, you'll see kind of, I have little photos and whatnot. Here I don't. Instagram sucks. Sorry. But over on the main telecast on those, you'll be able to see some visual aids because, think about it like this. If you've ever worked any teaching gigs or teaching professions, the children love the visual aids. So allow me to go ahead and put up this metaphorical vote that we put to our audience, which says Yoder. Oh, no. I see that. Boom. Yoder. Oh, God. Jesus Christ. Boom. Yoder at 68% to Souza's 32. Just to remind you guys, see, we do this officially. We have real people who are voting in, and we bring in those results. And we also had a competition where we're going to see which one of our fans gets the most picks right. They are going to get a free rash guard from our sponsor, Nogi BJJ Gear. So, yes. Let me go back to your comments, though, while we've got a second here. I respect him so much for keeping fighting. He is a tough dude. Absolutely, man. It's just tough. Anybody who's gone through any kind of loss like that, especially like a father, that sometimes it's almost like he's putting off the grieving, and sometimes you don't even feel it until like a random 2 or 3 years out of the whole thing. So it could be that. Let's see here. I don't know these guys, though, so you don't know the people who are coming up next. Well, that's not good. I have no idea, but the Instagram just went down, so I'm going to restart this right now on the Instagram on my iPad. That sucks. I thought Instagram, we had a nice thing going. This keeps it up all night. I'm going to be yelling at my iPad. But that's the beautiful thing about watching the prelims. You get more education. You get to know these guys better, so that way you become well-versed, and the people that you talk to, your friends, the casuals, the dummies, they don't know what they're talking about. So, this is a very good exercise in extra credit is what I like to call it. And a lot of people are always willing to do the extra credit. Most people are willing to always just cheat off the people like you guys who are watching right now. I know, because a lot of times people ask me who I think is going to win so that they can go ahead and put it down and make some money off of it. I tell them not to, but no, this is the thing. I'm also really not going to tell you not to put any bets on what I'm saying. Hey, what's up, Instagram? Good to have you guys back. Sorry about that. I don't know what the hell just happened there. I'm super pissed that it just canceled out the thing, but here we are, top of the hour right now. So a good time to reset, but we are watching tonight's UFC 252 card. What is up, Thor? Good to see you, sir. Hope you are enjoying tonight's festivities. Thor, who do you have tonight? Do you got DC? Do you got Stipe? Let me hear it in the comments, sir. Yeah, exactly. Real fans. I tell this to people all the time. I'm always like, listen, if you show up and you do the extra credit, other people will begin to understand. I know a lot of fans don't actually spend time watching the prelims, and they're like, who are these bums? And sometimes the bums become the next superstars. You just never see it coming. You did respond and you said DC, Thor. Good for you. I'd like to see him lose. Marlon Vera. Interesting. I think you are seeing through the Sugar Sean parade right now, is what I'm guessing here. You're going through all of your picks. I like this. Kai won, so you got that one right. I don't really count that one. Miller. Ooh, interesting. I felt like us on the West Coast were forced to go for Vince, but I understand, my friend. Miller's a beast, man. Whoever put together that fight, that one's just for us. Thank you, Sean Shelby, and or the other guy. I forget his name right now. Anyway, not Pichel. I love it, dude. I'm just telling people that we are in a nice evening full of good fights that I've been waiting for some time. And I'm glad that we're getting some distance to this DC and Stipe thing. At the very beginning of coronavirus, the two of them were talking about, like, you know, DC wanted to do it because he's just like, dude, I'm old. JK, Miller going to get that knockout? Look at you. Oh, man. I was about to say, I was like, yo, dog, I don't presume people watch this that would know him, but we know people who know him, so I can't promise you that. This one comes from Christopher Hexer, which says, why aren't you showing the fight? I guess the question you should ask yourself is, why aren't you buying the fight? Are you poor? Are you sad? Do you hate yourself? No, bro, I know people who work at the UFC. I'm not going to fucking show the fights so I can lose my ability to do my fucking show. You can go elsewhere if you want to. It's perfectly fine. No hard feelings. However, everywhere else is boring. So you're more than welcome to go away. That's what we got going on for you guys. What is up? Height. IDIND. I don't know you, or maybe I don't think I know you, but hello. Welcome to the telecast. Glad to have you joining along with us. We are watching tonight's UFC 252. I have to do a cheers. That's right. Oh, my goodness. I totally forgot about that. We have to do a nice complimentary cheers for one Chris Docus. Okay. This cheers goes out to Chris Docus. Chris, man, congratulations to you for a savage knockout. That knee, I didn't see it coming. I mean, neither did your opponent, but holy fuck, dude. That was pretty impressive. Cheers to you for giving us a nice highlight reel finish, and more importantly, for surviving, making sure you didn't get any harm from that car crash, and you came back like a beast. Cheers to you, sir. And as a reminder, if you guys give us a like and a share on Facebook, we give you a toast just like we do those who get finishes within regulation in the fights. This piece of advice comes from Thor. It says, just poorly explain what you see for the peasants that want to see a bootleg fight. I mean, essentially, I take them to old-timey radio times. You know, the only thing I don't do is use my old-timey voice. Well, over here, DC's coming in with an overhand right. Looking just like Seagrams. Seagrams, never leave home without it. Actually, the more I think about it, that's actually just sounding like John Anik. John Anik's voice is from the early 1900s. That all makes sense now. Yeah, I mean, listen, dude. We've all been that poor before. If you can't order the fights, at the very least, if you got a dummy coming over here and saying what's happening in the fights, you don't look as lost. So I'm saving you, what, 50, 60 bucks? No, it's actually 63. Jesus Christ. Yikes. You're more than welcome to stick around. We love having you. We're not going to miss you if you aren't gone. Anyway, but yes, thank you, Poor. Sugar Sean, though, you have to figure, though, the UFC is 100% hoping this train continues. I'm intrigued by the man. I think the Veras is a little understated in terms of audience expectation. So I don't know. I would like to see just a good fight. That's really all I care about on this one. Who do you think is better jits, Cheeto or Sugar? I know people that would tell me Cheeto does. I have actually had people slide in my DMs to tell me how good Cheeto is at grappling. I don't know. On that one, I would feel like, yeah, I'd be willing to go with Cheeto. I like his crew that he works with, Orange County 10th Planet Classic team kind of folks out that way. I don't know, man. Let's give him the edge on that one. I mean, are we going to see that tonight? Probably not. So, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over trying to answer that one. But yes, Sean, I hope I am answering your question properly. I'm gonna put this question for everybody here, which is, how have you guys been able to train during the pandemic? No, that's my question. Sugar guillotine over Gomi, though. Yeah, that wasn't one that I was like, man, look at him. That's an amazing jiu-jitsu guy. That was one that I just kind of said, like, yeah, good for him. Although I will say, guillotine is actually one of the harder ones to get on people. Anybody who has a good form for guillotines, depending on what kind, it can be very difficult to do. So I'll give you that credit. I always know that, like, sometimes I like to tell wrestlers, like, haha, I've got a good guillotine. Look out. And then they'll, like, double leg me. And I'll just be like, oh, my guillotine is not as good as I advertised. Yikes. So, yeah, totally a viable and valuable insight on that one. So we got Souza coming in right now, former Invicta FC strawweight champion. She has the second fastest submission in UFC strawweight history at 121, and she has 8 first-round finishes, 3 wins in under 1 minute. So I think they're trying to tell you she good. And as Thor was saying just a few seconds ago, she is who he is rooting for. Ashley Yoder, though, a little bit higher in height, and then 69.5 on the reach. So this should be interesting. She's at the age of 32 to 129 of Souza. So I'd like to hear who you guys got in this one, but hit me in the comment section. Bruce Buffer wearing what appears to be part of Jack Skellington's closet today. Little Nightmare Before Christmas, anybody? No? Okay. It's up to you guys. We'll be walking you through the action, but as a nice way to remind you guys, give us a like and a share. Let us know that you are enjoying the broadcast. Oh, look at this. G-Baby did just give us a share. So before we start this fight, I'm going to go and give him a toast. Hey, after watching this tonight, go look up G-Baby. That's Giancarlos, who is doing comedy this evening. And he's doing a 30-minute set. The dude's really funny. And check out his podcasts. Friend of the show, friend of yours, friend of everybody's, really. Cheers to you, G-Baby. Oh, I'm going to have to look at your stupid comment about Sugar Sean's guillotine, trying to remind me and hang over my head like I'm wrong. Not having it, Sean. We're just moments away. Although Ashley Yoder's 7-5, that does concern me every once in a while, especially being fodder for somebody who they're very clearly high on. So just to remind you guys, this is what we had just in terms of the fight numerology from our fans. 68% going for Yoder compared to 32 for Souza. And we begin the fight just in a second. We've got some more comments. I'll come back over this way. Look at this. Megan was told by G-Baby. I did. And I also got a note that says she's going to get a knockout. And we are back to the fights. So here we go. We'll come back to that one over in a second, Junior. So do not go anywhere. The fights have begun with the ladies. This is Yoder and Souza. Souza in the green because she's from Brazil, and there is a mandate that you must wear those colors if you are from Brazil. And Yoder with the greenish hair now looking in for a choke. She's a little too high. She's going to get dumped off, which is going to be bad because this is going to open up an opportunity for Souza to just lay in some really aggressive strikes. However, I would love to see Salza be a little more cautious of where her arm is. For a split second, she was clearly not going to be in an arm bar, but then almost was leaving her arm in there long enough for that to happen. Junior says, O'Malley's got some swagger. He does. He really does. He's not short on that. And the UFC definitely wants him to continue his reign because they are hoping that he will continue to be a huge presence for them going forward, especially since they're currently Connorless and probably will be for the duration of the year. So thank you guys to everybody watching. We're going to make this fun tonight. Make sure that you guys give us comments in the comment section. You are part of the show. So if the show sucks, it's really a reflection of you guys' comments and how good you are not being right now. What is up, Luis Rodrigo? Welcome along to the broadcast. Hope you are enjoying the UFC 252 undercard thus far in. So let me see here. Up on top now. Oof. Salza just literally swatted the legs across and came down with a savage fist to face while Yoder was on the ground. Yoder's showing some resiliency and is already back up, though. Good on her. What is up, Stephen Aiken? Good to see you, bud. Hope you're watching and enjoying tonight's festivities with the fights. So far, so good. We've had 2 fights already. This is now the 3rd fight. This is the prelims that we got going on over on ESPN, or as ESPN likes to say, Fight Pass. Why do you still have that? Nice kick by Yoder. 2:33 left to go in this first round between the two of them. Salza backs up for a split second and now comes right back center of the octagon. What is up, Daniel O Spin OJ? Good for you. Daniel O Spin. Sounds like a DJ name. Either way, good for you. Oof. All right, Yoder's seeming a little bit more relaxed into the fight, though, which is interesting because I would assume with her having a little bit more of the defensive time that she might need to make a little bit more of a statement for this first round. That's the difficult part. If she's able to keep that composure and be consistent with her striking, she'll be just fine. I think she just has to control Salza. The hard part is keeping that consistency when Salza just looks like she can just firecracker at any time. So CJ Henrati, you're out from Ireland. Look at you. I'd ask you what time it is, but it would only be to discover if you were drunk. And the answer is you probably are. So congrats to you, man. Thank you for watching. Glad you're chiming along with us, as long as we like to say on this show. We international, baby. Right now, you are seeing Yoder do some cage work against one Salza, who just looks a little contained. She doesn't look bad. She just looks like she's being very careful. A nice inside trip there. Look at that. You cheers me. I have an actual beverage, so I can cheers you, sir. See, look at that. Boom. It's a good time to remind people, if you give us a like and a share on Facebook, we will give you a cheers on air, which means we will toast you on air. So our thanks to everybody who is watching thus far in. Yoder is content with this single leg in between her legs, though. She really doesn't even care on trying to get this single. She just wants to keep the head pressure there. If there's been one trick during Coronaweight that we have seen like consistently, as people have said, hey, listen, ooh, Yoder with a great straight kick right there. Looked awesome. Is I think that people have compensated for some of the time that they haven't been training with just using that cage for as much leverage as possible. Now Yoder trying to take the back with only 2 seconds left. She's not going to get much for it. And we done on that one. Junior chimes in and says, I can't wait for Dos Santos versus Rosenstruck. Yeah, that's going to be a fun fight. Do you think that Dos Santos still has it, though? Just the way that he's in shape, though, makes me feel like he's got a better chance than I would normally give him. But he looked really, really in solid shape, man. I was really impressed with how he's been able to keep himself in shape for this. And damn, It's impressive. So I don't know. That one's going to be hard for me to pick. Thank you to everybody watching along with us this evening. We are in the midst of watching the prelims for the UFC 252. So we're going to be here all night. Make friends with us. Send us your comments, your concerns, your... well, you can also send us your fight predictions. This is from Junior, who says he's going to get knocked out. Yeah, I think that's what's supposed to happen. Yeah. He's old as fuck now. I know. And I haven't loved the way that he's fought the last few fights. I would say that I'm a little bit more relieved in how he looks and that at least he has a little bit better of a shot. That makes me a little bit happier for him. What's up, Gio? And we go into the second round right now. Next week, they're going to have Pedro Munoz versus Frankie Edgar, and I'm excited for that fight. Very unfortunately, that one came down due to COVID a few weeks ago, but I'm glad they put this one back on the forefront because I like all of those guys. So, 434, second round. Yoder trying to implement, saying the last name Yoder just makes me feel like an old person talking about Star Wars. Like, is that what the Yoder? Is that what the little Muppet Yoder thing? And it's like, every time I say her name, I just think I'm saying it wrong. So I apologize if there's a weird delivery on that one. Oof. Souza makes her eat a stiff jab, but then Yoder just eats it and now continues to push her up against the cage. This is probably going to be the design of her fight, I believe, if I'm just guessing. Takmot says, I like Marab tonight. Interesting. Okay. I get where you're going on this one. I appreciate you chiming in. Thank you very much for your insight. And we're continuously still working here. Oh, look at that. We got a share from one Thor Skanky. So that means we need to do an official toast to our good friend Thor. So this cheers goes out to Thor Skank. If you guys haven't been to 101 Boxing, what the fuck is wrong with you? Thor Skanky is an excellent striking coach, excellent friend of the community, a pillar of MMA out here in Southern California. So find your way over to Ventura, go to 101 Boxing, take some classes with him. His establishment, the whole place looks beautiful. So cheers to you, Thor. Thank you very much for the share. Appreciate you, brother. All right, back to the action. 225 or 255 left to go on my clock over here. More of the same. Yoder, lots of pressure against the cage. The two of them now are actually circling back to the center, which is kind of nice to see a little bit break in the action. Though if you look and see maybe a little bit on the footwork here, you were probably led to believe that Yoder almost wants to back her straight back up to the cage and continue doing the status quo there. Souza still doing a decent job of keeping her guard up. She's not 100% that far behind in the fight per se, but I mean, just being taken out of her element and having so much cage time drained from her over on that may impact what normally would be a little bit closed of a shut case for her. Again, though, Yoder finding the cage. Thank you. Takmarat says, Rosenstruck, sorry, that is Devashili. Yeah, totally understandable, dude. That's why at first I was like, I think I know what you're talking about. But I'm also trying to stay with this fight while I am live. We can talk about that during the break, though. Underhook here by Yoder proving quite nice. She's probably just going to stay here. I don't really even know that she wants to move from this position. Again, being able to get the leg in between hers here, and you are seeing Salsa do a decent job of trying to get the leg out. It's just the angle of that octagon. They're at that side where there's the bend. So as she's trying to escape out, she almost finds herself on the next side of the octagon. Interesting. Thank you guys for watching along on Instagram. We love it when we see the hearts over on this side. And just as a reminder, if you give us a like and a share, we give you a toast on air. We just want to make sure that you guys get the opportunity to get the same treatment as the fighters. We like to give them all the due respect that they are due. So much appreciation for all of you guys who are tuning in and watching along with us. It's going to be a heavier night, so we're actually just getting started at this point. Man, Yoder, again, just every time she goes to take the back, she literally slip and slides to the next century. Sean P. Bear says, Derek Lewis, balls hot? No, not the time. No, I wouldn't say balls hot on this one. Though you know what? You'd have to ask him. Unfortunately, I don't really do a Derek Lewis impression. I do a lot of other impressions, not a Derek Lewis one. Just because how are you going to be funnier than that? Usually impressions have to add something to it. Derek Lewis is an impression of himself. So, there's that. Last 10 seconds of the second round, which means we can address some of this. Yes, Takmont, I know you're just trying to give us some insight into saying that you're excited for later in the fight in the evening. You were excited to see Rosenstruck versus Junior Dos Santos. So for that, it seems like a lot of you guys are going for Jairzinho. So totally understandable. And then you're also saying you're excited for Merab Devashili versus John Dodson. So John Dodson is an interesting case, man. We've seen how durable he can be. But I agree with you. Merab is he's looking pretty good here tonight. 14th ranked in the UFC. Last I looked, but I think now he's actually been named 15th. So good for him. What is up, my BJJ is okay. Good to see you. It's always nice to have somebody who is a black belt in judo, by the way, in these fights. Coming off a nice streak here. He beat my friend Terrion, which, boo. Not a fan of that. But he has a nice series of wins, especially since February. That's how quickly we're seeing these guys do turnarounds in this era right now. So that is how we're continuing to see things play on out. And we go to the third and final round between Yoder and Souza. Be interesting to see. I mean, I would pretty much say Yoder had round two. Round one just depends on if you consider that push up against the octagon is control. What's up, Sean? I don't know. But I had earlier said that I saw Yoder as winning. And I guess I'm going to win it by default if she keeps this up, though. So it's going to depend on you, Souza. Of course, coming up very soon after this fight is going to be TJ Brown and Daniel Chavez. So don't go anywhere. Super ready for that one. Nice kick to the leg that makes Yoder a little feeling it right then and there. Nice kicks over by this side. Now, again, the slow and steady has been really impressive for Yoder. I'm usually so stoked about this card. I'm not usually biased towards fighters, but I really hope DC wins tonight. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of people just be like, listen, I don't care what it takes. I just want DC to retire. That's the comments that we've gotten throughout the week. Kevin had a good insight, which is if DC is going to win, it is going to be based on the fact that he is excited and motivated by his retirement cake. And that is about as good a comment as any, as I've heard about what will actually make him win. So unless you guys can beat that otherwise. So that's the comment to beat right now. Thank you guys again for watching along. So far, so good. Ladies are closing it on out with this last 3 minutes of action. Yoder starting to back up Souza yet again. Consistent work over on this side. Want to go ahead and make sure we're acknowledging everybody. I love this. It says, cool, the Korean. It says, I love watching DC fights. Well, tonight's the last one, apparently. Or is it? There's rumors that Dana White is going to throw a boatload of money to whoever wins this to take on John Jones. Yeah, Joe Rogan got nothing on you, my bro. Oh, thanks, man. Joe Rogan's still the best in the business, but Joe Rogan can't be funny unless he's doing his real fight companions. You almost get the sense that he doesn't want to do commentary anymore. You feel like, man, he just wants to go hang out with his bros and smoke weed. You're skeptical. You're skeptical of this being his last fight. Yeah, understandably. I kind of get you on that one. I feel like, I don't know, though. DC saying he was going to be done by 40 always sits bad with me. And not bad in the sense that I don't want to see him fight anymore. It was just, Dude said, no matter what, I'm going to be done by 40. And then the whole John Jones situation happened. And then here he is still continuing fighting. So good for us, but I don't know. Lando will travel. Welcome. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. We're watching along ESPN Plus fights for the UFC 252 undercard. Again, Sousa really good with these leg chops, though. Every time Yoder seems to react. That's impressive. Yeah, Yoder might piece this one out. Who knew? 68% of our respondents might actually be right on this one. Look at this. A lot of our fans were wondering who they thought was going to come in on this one, and 68% said Yoder, and is looking a little bit more probable, whereas before I wouldn't have said that necessarily coming out. I picked Yoder as a placeholder, but I didn't feel strong about that one. But, you know, sometimes you just go with your gut and just see what happens. That's one of the benefits of doing these things. You just kind of scientific experiment. Say it and see what happens. What is it? Predict something and fuck around? Yeah. That's the meme that's going out with that. Still good stuff. 57 seconds left to go in this third final round. Yoder and Sousa, if you guys are feeling differently on the scorecard, please let me know. These chops to the legs, though, continuously by Sousa find their mark. And I think on the last one, Yoder winced a little bit, but then started to return in kind, pushing her away for just a split second. Oof. Every time, just a little dizzy. And on this one, oof. Yeah, that's the ugliest takedown I've seen in a bit, but it worked, man. Ugh. It was not great. But, like, I say that as somebody who has terrible takedowns. But power to her attrition. Unfortunately, she's giving up her back, and she does go into guard. It just doesn't matter because there's 4 seconds left, and that is the end of this fight. We had a close fight. Sousa comes over. They pay respects to each other. It does look like Yoder's hair is like a leftover, haven't touched it up St. Patrick's Day kind of hairdo that she's got going on right now, but what are you going to do? All right, fans, hit me up. Who do you have on that? Do you agree with me? Do you believe that Yoder won that one? Do you think Sousa did enough on chopping the leg? Do you have ample evidence of who actually killed JFK? Any one of those things? Hit me in your comment section. I will take it, and we will continue to go along, and we will say hello to everybody who's been chiming in and giving us some hearts. I want to say hello to Jeffrey Wakeling, David Montano, Alvaro Dondo, PJ Dago. Man, we're getting a lot of you guys chiming in. This is really cool to see you live. I always enjoy doing these. Having you guys watch along with us makes for a very fun evening, and it makes me not an alcoholic because technically I'm surrounded by friends when I'm drinking. So, genius. Official decision coming in right now. I will relay that for all y'all in your preferred forms. At this point, they're just stalling to make sure people are going to buy this. What's up, Marcus? Dude, how have you been, bro? You watching tonight's fights? We're about to get the result of Yoder versus Sousa. I'll give you guys that. $29.28 and $30.27. What's up, Big Ben? Ooh, Sousa ended up pulling that one out. Interesting. That one's close. So he says, yes, watching for sure. Look at you, man. Haven't seen you in a bit. Are you drinking this evening? If you are drinking, what do you have lined up this evening? I know our good friend Mike would want to know what that is. So please tell me. I am keeping it fairly casual. Well, Megan says, I hope Yoder won because that's who I voted for. Go Blondes. Well, I don't know. I kind of thought she might have won that one, but I'm also not heartbroken about it. So I'm over it. Always drinking. Good man. All right. Next one coming up on the pipeline is going to be TJ Brown. He was awarded a contract on Dana White's Contender Series Season 3, Week 10. He has a 14-7 record. So he is showing you his spinning back elbow. Meanwhile, he's taking on tonight Danny Chavez, who is 10-3 with a 3-fight win streak, one of which is his UFC debut. So always interesting to see how those play out. Anyway, I'm going to make sure to share this on my own network so that my friends can see this as well. Sometimes they forget what time the fights start. Do you believe that people still don't know what time fights start? Like, how does that happen? Like, when my friends say, what time the fight start? It's like, what time do you think they start? They don't change, especially for pay-per-views. For the longest time, we had people who would ask us, they'd be like, here, Ref, tell us what time the fight starts. And I'd be like, I'm not Google. Go find that out yourself. It says tequila and Mountain Dew, Sweet Lightning. Trust me. I don't know that I do, Ben. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I like that you get the true people in here being like, Ref, you never go wrong with Mountain Dew and some tequila. And I'm like, well, sounds like bad decisions could be made with those two things. Marcus Bale says, had a bottle of wine, beer for now. But the question is, what beer? I don't know enough about wine to pretend to carry on a discussion with you. But what beer are we looking at? Grafuna says, let's go Danny. And just in case we didn't put that one up there, very excited for that. Happy for you to be excited about Danny fighting. That'll be the very cool thing to see. And I should probably put up the new branding for this one. This one's going to be a catch weight. That's right. Let me double check on this one. I believe on this one, TJ actually didn't make weight. 146.5. Big Ben says, and a dash of diabetes. People with the Ben, named Ben, low-key worry me. There's a bottle of Jack in front of me. Sounds like a really bad decision. Tequila Dew. That's like the what? You know what it is? It starts with people saying, do the do. But also do it with tequila. And then that's how bad decisions get made. I've seen a lot of family members do really dumb things with tequila. So I'll just tell you kids. Oof. Like even imagining it, my stomach is turning inward. Like, it's just so silly. Look at this. Cleveland Stronger. That's a dumb title for that. I think they just wanted to go the full way across their little branding here. You just put Cleveland Strong. I think, that's so stupid. I love whenever we do these hashtags, it's like a tragedy happens. They go, Cleveland Strong. It's like, well, okay, cool. We don't have any other trash hashtags that we can throw at these people. Tequila don't do. That's a much better hashtag. See, that's how you can tell we're amidst a social media expert here, people. Hashtag tequila don't do. Look at this. Angel Otero coming in with a share. We're going to give you a cheers in a second. My puppy's coming over here to see if I'm doing anything exciting. I am not really doing anything exciting for you food-wise, so no. Mountain don't. That's pretty great. Mountain don't makes me feel like I wish I had. Ooh. Yeah. This telestration that they're doing with DC's loss against Stipe. I forgot all about that shot that he took to the gut. Oh, and everybody knows the telestrator is DC's best friend. Using it against him seems mean. Although I don't want to see him do the goddamn jig again. I will be just fine watching him win without a jig. Let's see this. Hope you're doing good, Rafa. I'm doing great. Angel. We got Brown and Chavez coming up in just a few. They're doing the little placards to let you know they are coming up right now. Let me make sure I have put that on the branding. I don't think I did. All right, let's make sure I copy and paste that for you guys wondering which fight we are on. Mountain don't. That's going to be a good one. I don't know that we're going to have a better hashtag than that. Well, Mad Marcus didn't come up with that. Marcus, that's your region, man. You can't let Big Ben take it out on you. Big Ben's the one making the bad decisions. He's making the bad decisions. It came up with an even better hashtag. Damn it. Yeah, I forgot all about TJ's submission game there. The Colombian Warrior. Sounds like a franchise that every racist studio passed on. Eek. All right, let's give some cheers on out. This one is going to go on over to Angel Otero. Angel Otero, oddly, is the person who showed Stipe Miocic how to do the jig. So if you've ever wondered who the person responsible for that terrible Irish jig that happens every time Stipe wins, it's him. Please send all of your hate mail to him. Cheers to you, Angel. Go, 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 go. All right. Mountain maybe. Because you don't want to say no, but you don't want to commit either. Yeah, Mountain maybe is pretty funny. Mountain do. Mountain don't. Mountain maybe. Mountain sometimes. Mountain occasionally, yes. This is great. This is why we keep you guys around. We make sure that we come up with the true hilarity to get through 9 hours of UFC telecast. By the end of these shows, it is usually me looking like the end of the Jerry Lewis telethon, looking disheveled, looking tired, and depending on what IPA I am drinking that evening, sometimes a little spicy. So it's a metered risk. Good for you. Good for all of you. They're in the middle of their pizza commercial. Is this Domino's pizza that they're trying to promote us with right now? It's like I never see a Domino's pizza commercial that makes me go, I want that. Like even as a kid. And I'm pretty sure they had the Ninja Turtles trying to sell that shit to me back then. But I will welcome John Stamos commercials. So excellent work, John Stamos. Look at the comment section. Ooh, Shevchenko versus Miocic. Yeah, that's true. Shevchenko she's got class though, man. Stipe just like, man, when he gets out there, it's rough, dude. I want to put that as a clip and then send him on a dance show. Like put him with like World of Dance and see what happens when Jennifer Lopez has to tell him it's terrible for him. Mountain herpes, hashtag LGBT, hashtag Brokeback Mountain. Are you losing weight, bro? Looking slim. No. No. Like opposite. I'm wearing all black, so maybe that helps. But how long has it been since you've seen me? I guess that's a question. Also, this is not a great angle for me, so I get it. But thank you. Normally my trick is to go get a haircut, and then people think that I lose weight. Unfortunately, I can't goddamn do that right now. So, just kind of living with what is this? Look at this. This is a ridiculous amount of hair. But thank you, Big Ben. Appreciate you. Cool Korean says, yeah, it's not a great look. Definitely not a great look. Whew. But here we are. All right. I should have put up who our fans had put on this one. Let me see if I have it on me. Hey, I did do it. Oh, good. All right. Just to let you guys know, our audience was a little torn on this one too. It is always interesting to see how these things shape out. But let's show you on our poll that we put up, which is, by the way, very scientific. We had our respondents say that 55% believe that is Brown is going to win, and 45% have Chavez. So that's what we got going on, just to let you guys know so that you are up on it. I would love to hear who you guys have on this fight, because you matter more to me than those people now. You are a beautiful human being either way, brother. Well, thank you, Big Ben. Appreciate that. I didn't expect to have some affirmations come on a show, but you know what? Now I feel so much better about myself. I am a beautiful human being. Thank you, Ben. You know what's so great is I have to hold on to these nice comments before we get to the actual pay-per-view where people can't buy them. And then we're going to get a flood of people very angry that we're not turning the camera around. So I highly appreciate you for coming in with nice comments as opposed to the assholes that are due to show up in hour and a half. All right, here we go. Round one about to get underway. We will give you the breakdowns as they happen in front of us. In the yellow trunks, you have Chavez, and in the in the black shorts, you have Brown, which is weird to have somebody with a color name when you are describing colors. Already with both of them attacking and chopping at the legs. Nice spinning back kick by Chavez that doesn't connect with anybody, but its form looks great. Let me see. Cool, like Korean. First time watching, but thanks for the companion you're doing. Good stuff. Thank you. Appreciate you. Happy to do it. I enjoy doing these things because I would be watching them anyway and probably tweeting. Now I just split the difference and just talk it out. It's way easier. If I had an assistant, I would literally have them take a dictation and do that, but I don't. So you're not an assistant. I don't call you an assistant. Your producer wife, Kelly. My wife just looked at me like, how dare you? I would take a personal assistant any day, though. Brown shorts would be a benefit, just saying. Jamie, pull that up. Yeah, we joke on this show all the time that I am both Joe Rogan and young Jamie. Like, I have to, hold on. Let me pull that up for myself. Megan says that she is going with Brown on this one. Cool. There's also a photo. Is that Kraft with DC? Dumb. I like Chavez's kicks, man. He has a second of being uncertain of how he looks after he gets off balance from them, but they still always look really great. And I mean, Brown has a little bit of a submission game as well. I want to go and make sure that we're not neglecting that. Ooh, nice chops over on those sides. 3 minutes left to go. I do like this one being put on this one, though. Ooh, Chavez sweeps the leg over on Brown to the point where he's got to find a way to get back up. Does so, but takes him a little bit longer than usual. Don't be surprised if you see Chavez continue with those kicks to probably that lead front left leg. On that one, he checks it a little bit better, which is nice. Now, Brown's starting to try and pressure him up against the cage, a little bit of an unload. The two of them circle back and around. Some kicks over from Brown as well in this to try and keep that distance in. Ooh, again, trips him up and punches to the breadbasket as Brown was slightly down for a second. Now he gets back up. The two of them are standing around. Just the power of his kick on the ability to sweep that leg every single time. Super impressive. Want to remind you guys, if you want to give us a like and a share on Facebook, we will give you a cheers, and it's entirely possible we may have a toast to give to one of the fighters in this fight. And Chavez is looking really solid thus far in. So our fans who were chiming in on that one, saying that Chavez was only at 45% being their favorite. Interesting choice there. And again, we're making sure that you guys are also being implemented in all of your comments. If you're seeing things that I'm not, feel free to chime in. You're more than welcome to go ahead and send in your comments on over. A nice little dance step switch over by Chavez, seeing if he can throw off Brown's timing a little bit there. Goes again for the kick, although this time Brown seemed a little bit more prepared for it when Chavez ducked under for a split second. All right, now I think you're starting to see Brown come a little bit more alive here and backing up Chavez. Ooh, nice. Goes for a takedown. Doesn't quite get a full grasp on getting a leg there to take him down with just yet. And just to let you guys know, at the top of the hour on Instagram, we're going to have to stop this broadcast and reset it. We have to do that every hour for Instagram because Instagram only has it 1 hour at a time. They're dumb. Not my preference, but it is what it is. And then if you are watching on Facebook and YouTube and on Periscope, we will actually take our break at 7 p.m. when they make the transition over to the pay-per-view because we have to end the telecast because YouTube will let you go on forever. Facebook only does them at 4 hours at a time. That's just what happens. So just as your heads up of the 2 time markers to be aware of. But right now we have a first round ending. You are seeing TJ not super depleted, but definitely making the most of his rest period. And he's opting to stand instead of sitting down on his stool on this one. And they're going to zoom in on the leg. I'm wondering. What's up, Kevin? I'm trying to hear what they're exactly saying on this one. Interesting. Okay. Well, they zoomed in on the leg as to be like, look, that's what got chopped. I see this. I think Brown might wear him down. Chavez, definitely not as light on the feet. Yeah. I think the interesting thing that we're seeing thus far in is he may let him exhaust some of that energy, but he keeps taking some of those chops to the leg, though, every single time. We'll see what happens in the second round. Be very telling. All right. Moving on that side. Now you're seeing Brown start to respond with a series of leg kicks on his own. And Chavez is a little more hesitant in this round, so you might be seeing something here. Both of them go for a kick. None of them really connect on it all that much. But you're seeing Brown try to be a little bit more assertive in terms of his octagon control here. Quick 1-2 by Chavez. Nothing much to it, just probably peppering him up. It's a way slower pace round. You did see Chavez wind up, and now Brown's starting to be a little bit more wise to it. Again, coming in with that lead leg, he's probably going to have to try and switch stances, but I don't think he can put too much weight. He's already switched to the other side, does decide to switch. He almost wanted to grab the back of the fence. I think that he is not able to put too much weight on that left leg anymore. Eek. Let's revisit that comment. Chavez, definitely not as light on the feet. Well, neither is TJ right now, my friend. Yeah, you're going to see Chavez load up on that leg. He may not be able to get on over to it right now just because it's a little further back, but watch him try to go for that other one. And a nice knee attempt by Brown that just almost plays into Chavez's realm. But then you see another switch here. Yeah, TJ letting me down. I don't know, man. I mean, anybody will tell you trying to fight like that is a difficult beast. So kudos to him for trying to implement a different strategy. That flying knee is like, hey, man, if this is already feeling like shit, at least use the part of it to hurt you. There you go. Grapple is the comment by Cool Like Korean. Yeah. I don't know, man. Just in terms of boxing, though, you do see Brown being a little bit better when he's not just addressing the leg kicks. And he can keep it standing up. It's a little bit more competitive. But now, Chavez drops him just a little bit, and now he's starting to try to cover up. And you are seeing, Chavez start to unload. But yes, we are at the grappling portion of the fight. 2 minutes left over here. And the instincts for Brown to go and start trying to attack that arm were very strong. That's somebody that, gets used to having a pretty good arm bar whenever they just start going over to the side and trying to get that different little angle so that they can go ahead and start getting you there. But he does have one hook here. I wonder if is it on the left leg? Yeah, it's going to be hard to continue to pick up here. He's trying to just find his way to his knees, tripods up, sit out, doesn't get anything from it. You see on top, Chavez starting to sprawl, gets pushed on over to where the cage is. Brown finds his way back up. Impressive work by him. All right. I mean, listen, dude, TJ should not be letting you down in the least. That's way more indicative of somebody when you know is just gritting through it. He's back on his lead leg, though. So kudos to him for being able to do that as well. Head and body, leg strikes. On this one, Brown is at 11 on the body, whereas Chavez is 14 on the leg strikes. So he has continuously been targeting those. And you do see a switch of stance again by TJ Brown. It's very indicative that he doesn't want to stay on that left front leg for too long, making his right leg his new lead leg. And when he tries to go in for a punch, he switches it again as almost to use it to just plant for just a split second to maybe get some power off of it. 30 seconds left to go in the second round. I mean, Brown is trying to throw the kitchen sink at him here, my friends. Nice kick. He stuffs it. Chavez returns with a good 1-2. Yeah, both of these guys don't feel super great at this point anymore. I think at this point, they're literally just trying to make the most of their situation. We have a note over here by friend of the show, one Jonathan King. Let me see what, Jonathan, you are saying. Feel free to put it in the broadcast. When you put it on the bottom of the comment section, chopping trees is what Jonathan King says. I would agree with you very much on that one, sir. Yeah. Hey, man, those guys who know how to use that strategy, when they can really utilize it, it just renders every aspect of your opponent's overall game to look almost silly by comparison. It's difficult to implement, but man, when it's effective, it looks terrible. What's up, Gabe? Look at you showing up right now. I want to remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share, we will toast you like we do those fighters who get finishes within regulation. So that means like and share on Facebook. Give us tons of hearts over here. I have nothing for you on Instagram. I might like say your name and say nice things about you, but that's like it. And on YouTube, a smile. I'll give you guys a smile. That's what I'll do. I have no way of tracking it right now is the only issue. On Facebook, I clearly see where it is. On YouTube, I don't see it until the next day. It goes, did you know this many people shared this? And I go, no, didn't know it at the time. Would have been fun. So that is our reminder to you guys who are watching along with us. And it is going to be a long night of fights. So stick around. All right, we're back to the third final round of this bout between Brown and Chavez. And Brown went in for a takedown and is getting sprawled on by Chavez again. And he tries to he's at deep half. He wants to attack this leg, and Chavez, wise to it, says, fuck no. That was a great strategy for him right there. If you can't really balance on your former lead leg, you might as well implement a new strategy to try and take off a lot of the pressure that would normally be on it. He's still now trying to make his right leg his lead leg. And that is, dude, anybody who switches stances consistently will tell you, you won't always have what the range that you're comfortable with and the power that you're comfortable with when you have to switch stances due to that. If you do it yourself, you got a shot. But if you have to switch because your opponent has kicked it so hard, not great. So, comes in again on a single leg. Doesn't get anything on that one. Going right back over to the kicks over on the leg. Oof. Tough work here for young TJ Brown, who's still somehow in this. Like, as much as he is wincing on some of these things and having to just eat some of it, very much still in this fight and still trying to press the action. At this point, Chavez is now doing most of the response time. Like, he is trying to counter off of all of this. I like this. Cool Like Korean says, come on, Brown, pull Derek Lewis. Don't we all wish we could pull a Derek Lewis? I wish my social media could pull a Derek Lewis. 248. TJ has Chavez pushed up against the cage, tries for a spinning back elbow. Chavez doesn't even feel it. All right, just to remind you guys, at the end of this, what's up? The Tomahawk 8T8. At the top of the hour, we're resetting our Instagram feed, so don't go anywhere. Just find us back at Verbal Tapcast. And for those of you watching along, we still got another hour of coverage before we reset the stream. So everybody just chill. 2 minutes left to go in this last round. It is interesting because I feel like Chavez is almost allowing TJ Brown a little bit back into the fight. Like this dancing all the way while backing up. I know he probably wants to counter him, but this is the moment when you need to solidify what could be a very close fight in a judge's opinion. And just letting him have the ability to come and find his way back into the fight could be very disadvantageous for him. And he's leaving himself a lot more open for Brown to connect with. A lot of these punches are finding homes. So Cool Like Korean, you might get your wish here. Ooh, I wonder, is he bouncing off of his leg too? Interesting. I think Chavez is just trying to be light on his feet. And in this one, you're seeing the significant strikes for round 3 are 3-1 for Brown to Chavez. Yeah, Brown making a very impressive statement here in this last round between the two of them. Let me see here. We got a share from Adam Woods. Adam, we will take care of your cheers at the break of this fight. We thank you in advance. Chavez now trying to weigh down. He does get a little bit of a takedown. Just given the discrepancy in strikes, I don't know that this is going to mean too much, especially when he doesn't have control, and especially when Brown is doing an excellent job of trying to get that Kimura grip. Takes it to almost getting to his knees to take the back, but instead Chavez maintains control. Brown front rolls out of it like it's a warm-up at a jiu-jitsu class, and now Chavez is trying to unload a knee to the gut over from the turtle position. Just makes you nice suplex over by Chavez. At the very least, nice, almost a German suplex that for a split second Brown was content to almost try and do a reverse here. Doesn't get it. Gives his opponent a nice pat on the back, and the two of them seem to have just ended wrestling practice. Anand loves jiu-jitsu. If you like wrestling, you probably would have liked the last 30 seconds of that one. As tired as those two were, still finding the energy to make it very entertaining for all of us watching. And we have a Cool Like Korean that says, wow. Wow, indeed. Wow, indeed. Very cool thing to do. So I got 158 left to go here. Hopefully we'll be able to give you the exact result. If not, come find us on the next one. We're just going to reset that every hour on the Instagram, so don't go anywhere on that one. That suplex. Brown won me as a fan tonight. As he should, man. I would tell you, Chavez looked like he was trying to take someone to Suplex City, and they didn't want to go. He's like, I didn't buy a ticket here. No, thank you. I have a receipt that says I'm supposed to go to a different destination, sir. No, thank you. To make sure we share with all of our friends on all of our locations, I'm going to go ahead and give a quick cheers before we get to the result to our good friend Adam Woods. Adam Woods, speaking of Suplex City, was originally the guy who inspired Paul Heyman to be Paul Heyman. A lot of people don't know that, but it was always Adam Woods first, then Paul E. Dangerously. Cheers to you, sir. All right, result. 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision. Danny the Colombian Warrior Chavez, who was able to coast on a third round. Good for him, though. I mean, it was a tough fight, but they're going to count those first 2 rounds, I'm sure, with a little bit more impact. But Brown held your head up high. I want to hear about his injury a little bit later, because I feel like that's one of those ones we're going to say, like, oh, by the way, he broke his leg in the first round. Oh, cool. Didn't know that. But we will find that out. All right, Instagram, don't go anywhere. We're going to save this one real quick, and we're going to be right back. BRB. But don't you guys go anywhere. We stay exactly where we are as we watch even more action happening throughout the night. I hate having to choose a still frame of myself on camera on these Instagram things, because it always goes, pick one still shot of yourself. So UFC 252. All right. I'm going to go ahead and pull that. I like this. Dane Donovan. Hey, sorry I'm late, gents. Just got out of class. When you say class, are you talking jiu-jitsu? Like what do you mean? Man, those suplexes were so good. Good for him, man. But either way, no big deal. We appreciate you around. We appreciate that you are joining us here this evening. Oh, look at that. Dane Donovan already with the share. We'll take care of you after we hear from the winner. And Joe Rogan is going to be complimenting Chavez's sharpness. So he's basically saying he was sharp because of his coaches. He's a little out of breath, and understandably so. And I'm not sure that he's wearing his headset properly. It looks almost like wrestling gear at this point. Oh, look at you, bud. We'll talk about that in a minute. He said he felt good. He felt he was in shape. He got a note that he might be involved in this fight, so he just took it. This is a solid UFC debut by Danny Chavez. And Joe Rogan is giving him all the compliments in the world. No. Chavez is dedicating this to a friend who has passed away. So, very nice show from him on that. Hey, what's up, everybody on Instagram? Thank you so much for joining us again. We are continuing our coverage of the UFC prelims. If you want to watch along, feel free. If you want me to give you the notes, the abridged version, kind of like we're in high school and I'm the one that read the textbook and you guys didn't. Happens. I know that life. But anyway, yes, we're watching tonight's telecast. But look at this. Dane Donovan says, USC Masters in Business for Vets. That's awesome, dude. Good for you. Master School of Business. That's really awesome. I can only imagine the USC business program must be very, very solid when you are not one of Lori Loughlin's kids. So kudos to you, man. That's awesome. Good for you. Well, you gave us a share, so we're going to take care of you in a minute. But first, I'm going to change the banner to make sure we reflect the next fight that is coming up, which some people may be very interested to see how it goes. And that is going to be Felice Herring versus Verna Generoba. So get excited for that. Hey, what's up, everybody? Again on Instagram. Very excited to have you joining us. We're going to do a quick cheers on over for our good friend Dane Donovan. But before that, we're looking at the heavyweight rankings. Apparently in the UFC, Francis Nganou's got to be watching this with vested interest, as Curtis Blades is, as Derek Lewis. You know, we could be looking at only a few more fights for Stipe Miocic as well. They talk a lot about Daniel Cormier's want to retire, but Stipe is just like, hey, man, I want to just have fun until it's not fun, which is always an answer of saying, pay me more and I'll stick around. But that division, if you're any one of those people, especially Jairzinho or Junior Dos Santos fighting tonight, I'm pretty sure you're looking at it with vested interest to see how it plays out. All right. Here's this. Did G Baby share yet? Yes, he did. G Baby actually has a comedy show this evening that he tried to promote on my show here, which is like all the disrespect in the world. Don't come on my show to promote another show that's happening tonight. Nothing else is happening tonight. Just this. I don't got time for you, G Baby. Anyway, watch the replay of his, but he is doing a 30-minute set because everything's digital right now. So, you know, what are you going to do? That's comedy right now, my friends. All right, let me do and take this. This cheers goes on over to one, Dane Donovan. Cheers to you for your efforts and your work over at the USC Masters School of Business. Super stoked for you, man. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to pave the way for a number of folks, hopefully within the sport of MMA, to get some good business acumen from a friend, because I think they could use that. Let's be honest. A lot of these fighters, not so good with money. Cheers to you, sir. Also, don't steal their money, Dick. I should say that because you're smart enough now. And if you're taking those classes, use it for good, not evil. Cheers. That's like a conditional cheers because I can take it away in the future. All right. Good for you. Thank you very much, Dane. Appreciate you, bro. All right. On the banner, we are changing it now to Felice, and we are changing it to Verno. What is up? Rod Well Hung. That's a name. All right. Jandaroba and Herrig. Jandaroba is squinting in a way that she doesn't believe what you're saying in her photo that they have for promotion use. I like that you said I won't. All right. And we'll revisit that in the future. When I find out, I'm going to be like, how much percentage are you giving to your manager right now? 45. That's too much. Just to remind you guys, the pay-per-view starts in about an hour, but we still got some major fights. I mean, listen, Felice is going to be a good fight, but I'm so stoked for Vince Pichel and Jim Miller. Jim Miller is going to create a new record here tonight with the amount of fights that he has taken in the UFC. And Vince Pichel is kind of a hometown hero. Just this dude who's a super beast. I take back what I might have said about Verna Generoba. I didn't know that was something. I think it could be her eye condition. It's just the way she was squinting in that photo. Could not tell the full story. But now we know. All right, we'll see it a little bit more in a few seconds. But anyways, yes, we will have a very good fight between Miller and between Vince Pichel. Pichel is really tough, dude. So whoever put that one together, cheers to them indeed. I can't believe they have Charlie Puth shilling for Subway. I actually don't hate it. I can't hate that kid. It's just impossible to hate him. He's saying the Paul Walker died song. What are you going to do? I don't even like the Fast and the Furious all that much, but how can you not like the song where they split in the road and they go on different journeys, guys? Just like all of us do in life. All right. Well, I'm not going to say you're going to be surprised to see how you guys voted on this one, but it was definitely significant of one person over the other on this fight. So when we put this one up to a vote, I think you guys would be interested to see, though not surprised, what the vote totals came down to. So if we're looking at what we got over on the Instagram vote poll that we put up, and we do it every single pay-per-view, but on this one, you may be interested to know that our fans voted 70 to 30% in favor of Felice Herring. So y'all feel a certain way on this one. I don't know how to feel on it in terms of different records, especially since Herring, it's been a while since we've seen her in a UFC cage. She's still 15th ranked, but she was coming off of 2 losses, pretty significant ones, to Carolina and to Michelle Watterson. That was back in October of 2018, which officially was 5 years ago. That's how long it was. As we know, 2020 now counts for 4 calendar years. So we totally understand how that goes. Meanwhile, Verna is coming off a win off of Mallory Martin, and that was back in December of 2019. She has a loss. Her one loss is against Carla Esparza. So if we're looking at the record here, what's up, JNLA? If we're looking at the record here and we're seeing how you guys are voting, you are putting more confidence in somebody who is coming back after a 2-year layoff as opposed to somebody who has been active and could potentially be a spoiler for them. So we'll see. But that is the numbers that we have for you guys thus far in. They're about to head back over to the cage. But until then, let me know what you guys are most excited for this evening's fights. I know a lot of people have chimed in and said Sugar Sean or DC have been the top of the trends for them. But for some of you, could be other people. And I want to make sure we're not ignoring them. And if you are watching along with us on any of our channels, feel free to say hello all of the folks who are watching right now over on Periscope. We want to take this moment to say, hey, you may have never been here before. You may be perusing to see different illegal streams. That's perfectly fine. We're not going to show any action, but we'll give you plenty of play-by-play. And we want to make it so that you have some friends to watch along with. So feel free, pull up a beer, cheers along with us. And the swift turning by one Bruce Buffer means we are about to get underway for this. It's got to be a name recognition thing. Absolutely. But you'd be surprised. Every once in a while, our fans really have some good insight. And then other times, they're just bleed. Some people also opt to not vote for certain people. Like they'll only show up to vote for like the 2 or 3 fights. And they're the people who like to take credit that they're really good at picking fights. And I'll usually see them and give them shit for it and be like, I thought you pick all the fights. Well, looks like you only picked 2. So, yeah, I guess you could do that if you're a casual. Whatever. Either way, it'll be interesting to see how Felice returns after a near 2-year layoff. A lot of press has been put around that. And let's see if she surprises us here tonight. And let's see if Verna is really who people have been building her up to be. Let's see, Megan. Who are you going for on this next fight, Raph? I'm going Felice Herring, even if she's the underdog. I don't know. There's something nice to see with Felice. If she could make a return after a 2-year layoff, that's some great narrative to have here. I just don't feel great against Verna at the moment. But let's see. Yeah, that's a good takedown. Okay. It's just a takedown. Yeah, I was about to say, when Joe is making the comment that Verna is also wearing a knee brace, it makes you say, why? But what do you do? Beginning over here, takedown over for Verna. She's kind of stuck in that half guard nether region. She could actually pass pretty easily here, but Felice doing a decent job of trying to regard here. Now Verna's starting to throw a couple light punches here. Felice almost gets back up. Verna rushes in. Now from guard, Felice is doing a very solid job. Throws in a strike and an elbow. Verna almost probably going to move the legs over the side. Sees if she could slide past the guard here. Felice slowly getting back up and Verna weighing, sagging her back down. Now controlling the opposite side wrist. Very well. This is very nice. This is going to allow her to get some punches in on this moment. Now, almost underneath the chin of Felice. Felice turning into it. Very nicely done, but now giving up mount, which is going to allow Verna to start unloading here. Ugh. Not great. Verna now becoming way more comfortable in the mount, and Felice gives up the arm. Her elbow was out, but now she has to tap due to not escaping it in the right amount of time. Yeah. And a significant scream to no one in the crowd. Just a generic yell. Well, all right. Megan, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm going to yell at our fans. Look at this. Come on. 70-30, guys. I'm just saying, even she looks like she's still yelling in the cage, by the way. I think the audio is playing live in the cage. And it sounds like someone's doing post ADR in an action film where they're getting punched because she's continuously yelling out. It's just really funny to see like a replay of footage and hear the background of things. What's up, Makar 778? If you're just joining us, you saw a dominant performance by Verna. Oof, we're gonna have to cheers that. I don't know. That's so mean. It's like hitting two birds with one stone. Yes, congrats to Verna. That was a nice armbar. We're definitely gonna pay tribute to that in a second. But let's acknowledge this one real quick, which is 100%. At least Herring didn't sign to bare knuckle fighting. Man, you know, here's what I'll say. Kudos to Paige Van Zandt. Get paid. If they're going to give you copious amounts of money, I saw what you sent me, Cody, by the way. If they're going to send you copious amounts of money, take the money. Take the money and go. Cody, we were just joking on air, and I don't know if you heard this, but did you hear the whole time that Verna was like still just screaming out and yelling, like it makes me think when they're going to announce her winning right now, we're going to hear her continue to scream. She may continue to scream all the way from outside the octagon to her post-fight interview. So I don't know, man. That's why when I look down and I see on my cell, I see your note to me, I just go, God damn it, Cody. Hope you're doing well, bro. You've been training. You've been good, bro. Hit me up. Let me know how you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and put up the insignia for our next fight, and we're also going to take care of some cheers in just a second. These post-fight celebrations are like animal dying in the wild all alone. That's what I thought. Wait, here it comes. I'm ready for it. Oh, she's going with the muted celebration. They call her Vina, and here in America, we're 100% going to call her Verna. Like, I don't have time to pronounce it like other people pronounce it. All right, this is how you know you need to earn your spot as a cornerman. Not only do you have to be good at a specialization of mixed martial arts, but you better be goddamn good at taking a selfie. Like, if you are not the guy who can take a good selfie, I don't want you in my corner. Jairova is something serious. Angela Hill, damn, Jairova is a problem. Impressive performance indeed. So, I'm going to save the cheers for her to wait for her to comment, because it's entirely possible we hear her continue to primal scream out a little bit more. So we're waiting for a split second for her to go ahead and talk on over to Joe Rogan. What is this? What's up, Gomez? Good to see you, bud. Hope you're enjoying UFC 252 prelims along with us. If you are, send us some comments. If you are not, keep it to yourself. I don't really need to hear that. I don't need this kind of negativity in my life. Yeah, Jordoba. So Joe Rogan is putting over Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu right now, which thank you, Joe. And now we're going to be in the middle of a translation war. So we're going to hear her respond. And in that time, yeah. All right. Well, that's going to take a while. She has the fourth fastest finish in UFC strawweight history at 1 minute and 44 seconds. BT dubs. So now they're just talking about this being the second fight in a row win for her inside of the octagon. I'm going to move forward And we are going to go ahead and do our toast to Virna because, all right, let's just do it. This toast goes on out to one Virna Jordomba. Congratulations to you. Man, arm bars are one of the hardest things to even finish in the sport. I also realized as I started this cheers, you will have no idea what I'm saying. I could literally just make up any combination of words like duck, goose, you, yay, excellent job, words, more words about you being great. I just realized that it's kind of meaningless to cheers people who don't speak our language. Anyway, cheers to you because your armbar was really good. And if somebody translates this to you, you're really good at what you do. So cheers. Sorry, everybody. I just looking at how long they're taking to translate this makes it be like, yeah, she's really going to see a translation of some dude in a hat that she has no idea is talking about. Vina Jardoboa, it says lots of cheers and whatnot. So congratulations to her. And beautiful work. Thank you very much, Jorge, for telling people and spreading the gospel about the Verbal Tap podcast. We appreciate you, bro. What's available right now is 250 UFC Watch Party Fight Physics with Dominic Reyes, just released. So they're now doing watch parties. I wonder where they got that from. Just saying. I've been doing this shit for years now, son. All right, coming up on our next fight, we definitely have a very interesting next fight, which is the headliner of the prelims. What's up, Omadami? Good to see you. This is crazy to think that we're going to watch this next fight in a few minutes. I'm beyond stoked to see how this one plays out. So basically, they have DC showing a nice little backyard barbecue at what looks like, is this DC's house? And they're talking about how Cormier is going to stay involved by calling the fights, and he's still going to be there. So he's not going away, kids. He's just going to be inside of our hearts. All right. I'm not going to walk through any more of that. You guys can watch that on your own time. But what I will talk to you about is the discrepancy in how people see this one going. 77% believe that Jim Miller is going to win this fight, with just 23% for Vince from Hell Pichel. Now, both of these guys are friends of the show, so this one's a tough call for us. I would love to see an excellent fight. That's really all I'm hoping for on this one. While we have a second, we want to remind you guys, if you have a moment, give us a like and a share on Facebook. We will give you guys a cheers, a toast on air. And if you don't want to do that, just give us a like. Just do that. That's all we're ever looking for. We just want to make sure you guys are enjoying these shows. You have fun. Feel free to send me some comments, some questions, some concerns, some hints, some allegations, whatever you got for us. We want to make sure that you guys feel welcomed and that you are enjoying your evening along with us. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and catch up on a few housekeeping items. If you guys have the opportunity to go check out our friends over at Nogi BJJ Gear, buy yourself some new gear, use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15, take 15% off of whatever you put in your cart. Oof. Now all these neck exercises. Eesh. That's the shit that looks rough. Whenever they show that little cycle there, what's up, Pressure Jitsu? Good to see you, bud. Very stoked to see you guys joining us for the live telecast. I don't know. It should probably be it might have just fallen back. So who do you guys have? Do you have, I'm going to put this question to all of you guys, Miller or Chanel? I always misspell Vince Pichel's name, and it becomes a problem when you actually start to know these guys. Did I get it right? Oh, no, I did. I totally spelled it wrong. Okay, give me a second. Yeah. Bichel. Question to y'all coming right. Boom. Yes, it is very funny. I would never expect it to beat Vince. Oh, gross. Apparently, you did not get that on Periscope, but on Periscope, if you would like to chime in as well and let us know who you think is going to win, feel free to do that. For whatever reason, it thinks that I, the person who am commenting on it, who also is making the stream, is spamming you, which is kind of weird, but it is what it is. Man, DC hitting a walk-off home run doesn't seem nearly as cool to me as Stipe beating him and making us all feel great. What's up, Matt Baker? Who do you have tonight? Do you have DC or do you have Stipe? It's an important entry fee into coming in and watching the festivities along with us. We are doing a Let's Watch or a Fight Companion to enjoy today's telecast of UFC 252. It also occurs to me I should probably buy the telecast now. I just realized I had not purchased it just yet. But we will take care of that. Hopefully you guys have done the same. You have made sure to go ahead and purchase it if you need to do that sort of a thing. It's a crazy way. I always love the way that they try to like tell you guys, if you pay $84.99 tonight, though, you get like 2 weeks of ESPN Plus. Also, if you close one eye, we'll let you look at Hulu. All right, 24 minutes over on that stream. Gonna check here. Have some brilliant people chiming in with us. Keenan says, I'm going Miller. Yeah. It's hard, man. He's savvy, dude. But it's so hard because Vince is the homie, man. And I've gotten the opportunity to chat with Vince a couple times, and he's been nothing but cool to us ever since. And just the way he's so nice to everybody in the community out here. He's just this is a tough one. I'm hopefully going to stay a little more mutual on this one so that I don't have you guys influencing how I go. But I will tell you, I'm very much excited for this fight. Anyway, let's go ahead and kill that comment. Basically just killing the time before they make the walk on out. So that's about it. This week, in case you missed it, we did an over-under with the good folks over at the Bolo Bros podcast. That is Danny Moira and one Nick Salas, two of the nicest gents that you guys will ever meet. They took on Kevin's UFC 252 picks. Very stoked to get back with them later this week. I think we'll be recording with them on Tuesday. Let's just say Tuesday for now. And that is something that we are looking forward to seeing what they're going to do. Oh, look at that. You know what's funny about this time? Every show that we do, I just kind of get to discover what we're having for food. I don't know. A lot of times it's a surprise. And my wife has been ordering the food to be dropped off. And every time I just kind of look and say, well, what is that? And today it is pizza, kids. So it's going to be a good day for Raph. I am in a good mood seeing the very reliable Big Mama's Pizza and Papa's Pizza. Big Mama's and Papa's Pizza. Is that what it is? Yeah. Okay, thank you. Oh, I see it right here. It's bigmamaspizza.com. Why is it? They are not sponsored. Thank you for reminding me. Eesh. Yeah, I should. At this point, we should really be working on a food sponsor. I don't know how we get a food sponsor. Like, me eating it does not make for the most exciting of television, though. So we'll work that out. That's a production problem, not a you guys problem. Though a better fed host is a better production. Oh my God, it all comes together now. Don't give me that look. Producer wife Kelly, everybody. Thank you. She wants no applause. She does not care for you. All right. Well, that's good. Love you, babe. Thank you very much. And she picked a good time because we got some time to kill while we're waiting here. So, wabam. I also was going to look online to see what news information that we got because we did something new with my Twitter where even though I'm on air, I don't usually get the opportunity to check and see what headlines are being made. But I recently created a news list of sources that I kind of trust to see if there is any potential news that comes up as we are doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and say, very stoked about this. Yeah, let's pull this up. I can actually do this on my broadcast now. So I'm going to kill a few of these tabs, but I'm going to pull up our list because somebody brought up a really great tweet. And I think it's worth noting as we go ahead and get ready to watch this next fight. So hold up for just a split second here. Meanwhile, good time to remind you guys, hit me in the comment section. Let me know your unique insight that you may be bringing or your lack of insight, because that's actually pretty funny too. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes when people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, it's just as funny. But this tweet that I want to go ahead and bring up here brings up a good fact, which might actually work in Vince's favor just statistically. So let us go ahead and pull up here. This one is from Phil Murphy. So Phil Murphy on ESPN MMA retweeting it. Which, by the way, it says, first and foremost, he's a Jesus Christ follower, which, Jesus Christ. But he is pulling up some great info on this that I cannot deny. Let me see here. Oh, we got a comment in the comment section that says, hey, anyone know of a website to watch the UFC fights for free? Yeah, if you guys want to do that sort of thing, you're more than welcome to. I'm not going to endorse that here, but you do you. Just as long as you get to see the fights, perfectly fine. And as long as you're not mean to people. No, Rob Schneider is trending. Shit. Verna is going to 100% be called Rob Schneider all night. That was the note I got from my buddy, and that's what you're going to see here, kids. Yikes. Anyway, let's go to one of the individual Chrome tabs, which is on the tweets. So check this out. This is from Phil Murphy, who says Miller by sub is plus 300, whatever, let's have some fun. But he also says Jim Miller is 6'6" in his last 12 fights. But that's pretty impressive considering Miller was the betting underdog in 10 of those 12. He is a slight underdog against Vince Pichel. That's interesting to denote. So I think we should probably keep that as a nice little factoid to watch along with. But I thought you guys might enjoy that. I'm also going to go and look up any other information that we should be aware of right now. They're actually showing Jim Miller with this historic 36 walk into the UFC right now. And they're showing him backstage. And just to give you an idea of what he is looking like backstage, he looks like a dude. He looks like a dude who fights. That's really what it comes down to, kids. He is exactly who you think he is going to be. That is Vince Pichel backstage right now. So looking super chill. Been there for a long time. Megan Johnson says, I'm going with Miller on this one, but I've been wrong on every fight so far. It's perfectly fine. Kevin's lived that life too. You'll be surprised. Every once in a while you get a night where you're just running a little cold, but I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm going to guarantee this is a Rob Schneider photo. Dude, you're too late. Bruh. You too late. Somebody was trying to enter our contest, and I want to make sure that they know we are not able to go and put them on there right now. So let's remove that. Let's go ahead and see what other information you guys are getting. No! All right. Yeah, that's interesting to see. We're getting more. Oof. Yeah, they're showing the replay of that armbar, and it's nasty, dude. It's really good. I'll go ahead and share that real quick. Share that to stream on this one. Just looking at the way that they replay that armbar over on the Twitter section. Boom. Watch this. Watch the setup here. It goes straight from mount. Felice leaving her arm far too out. And Generoba wasting no time. Now, for a split second here, she might have been out. I want to point out the part where I thought that she might have been out, which is when she's here, watch her arm. I thought when she curves the arm in, like right here, it looks like she's losing it. Now look at where the hand goes. The hand is outside of the realm. She's just very, very quickly holding on to switch it out. If Felice was able to maybe scoot out a little bit and kind of shrimp out from here, you're a little bit more safe. Like you have the ability to go ahead and get out of it. But instead, the arm just stays stuck there. And it's almost like being stuck in that position is what will make it just as just crucially done in that moment. What a way, though. Yikes. All right, Jim Miller making his way on out to the octagon. We've gotten a lot of folks who have chimed in on who they think is going to win. I also want to hear who you guys is going to win. I just want to make sure y'all are continuously with us as we watch along this evening. All right, looking to double check to make sure we aren't missing any notes. We are seeing it all the way live. I'm going to tweet my buddy back. Rob Schneider is definitely trending. Boof. Yikes. What a day. All right, let us put the name of the fighters we have here in case you do not remember. But yes, they are making the announcements right now. We'll let Bruce Buffer take this for just a split second. Look at Jesus, Vince's back tattoo, though. Vince with a powerful mustache right over here. I forget that Vince's record is that good. (32-14). Insane, guys. I'm gonna have to see them right next to each other, but I just always feel like Vince is taller than he looks. So him right next to Jim Miller will be a little telling to me in just a second. All right, here we go, kids. Your first round of what could be a very interesting war between Jim Miller and Vince from Hell Pichel. They're oddly closer in size than I would have actually anticipated here. Nice connection over on the chin right now by Vince. Joe is pointing out right now that in the stand-up, Vince is going to have the advantage, while on the ground, Jim Miller is going to have the advantage there, which I would 100% agree with. Nice knee by Miller there. Beautiful read by him. Good kick. Vince swatting away a few of Miller's punches. Listen, this is two very different facial hair games. You have the super powerful Mario Brothers plumber mustache from our good friend Vince Pichel. Meanwhile, just look at the beard of Jim Miller. Looks like he's been lost in the woods for like 3 months. My hair's powerful too. Don't come at me. Low kick in the nether regions for Vince Pichel, who now is going to do his best to not make it uncamera friendly. 325. left in this round. And this fight is interesting for so many reasons. Like, Vince is somebody I haven't seen fight. Nice knee by Vince. But, like, if you see him do any rounds over here in Cali, or you ever get intel from his training partners, they just speak so highly of what he's got, like his ability to go from 0 to 100. And I was wondering when the last time he fought, because, mind you, he was on the 2009 he's been a fighter since 2009, but he's been on the live season of The Ultimate Fighter. So, like, he dates back for a good while in the sport. His last fight was a year ago. Yep. At the Nagano and Dos Santos fight, which was a win over Roosevelt Roberts. Before that, it was a submission loss to Gregor Gillespie. And to me, I just think, like, dude, I can't believe it. Like, I almost was like, is he still fighting? Holy shit. Good for him, man. Miller doing a very solid job of now starting to control Vince. Vince backs out of it. Now he's over center of the octagon, giving us a lot of time to look at his back tattoo. I can't even tell if he got more work done than that one, honestly. At this point, this is really turning into a battle of who's going to be next on our show. Like, we've always been in touch with Jim. I can literally drive to Vince. Nice. No. Jim Miller is starting to attack the back here. He's clamping on. This is going to be really a tough test for Vince. Jim's jiu-jitsu is excellent. He's starting to get underneath the chin here. Vince doing a better job, almost using the cage, but I don't know that he needs the cage to try and unless he's lifting up his hips here. So it's going to be a really important 2-on-1 fight. Jim very patiently trying to pull down on the neck. Oh, yeah. 1 minute here. And Jim almost trying to raise the arm. Now he's going to have, oh no, like a side shark, losing it. Switches over, has a hook underneath, and is just going to try and weigh him down. Now, this is going to be entirely indicative of Vince just standing up, but it's going to be very important how he responds to this. This is like a truck entry into here. Miller trying to make something work here so that he can maybe transition over to a guillotine from mount, but instead just using it for a continuous amount of control. And the arm here is a 2-on-1, well done by Vince Pichel. Excellent work. Who's doing a solid job thus far in not to give up his back. However, Jim Miller is going to try and take a calf crusher here. Hey, Vince, come underneath. If you're going to get this, you got to push the leg out underneath and get it back. Not that you can hear me, but you need to almost support that calf crush, which he will survive. And he starts elbowing the leg. Note to self, never calf crush Vince Pichel. Good to know. I didn't know that was his escape, was to elbow the thigh. Yikes. Well, you know what's also really good right now? This pizza. Thank you to our non-sponsored pizza player. Hey, listen, if you want to sponsor us, just give us food. That's really all it comes down to. We're not picky here. Seeing my dog enjoy the fights as well. She literally got up, saw that they were going on, goes, looks pretty good, Dad. Good fight. So if we're being honest, that round is going to go to Jim Miller. Now the question is, where do we go next? If Jim Miller gets a taste of that control that he was able to have on the ground, you get the feeling he's going to 100% try and get himself back there. What's up, Bong 808? Bong? Second round, and you saw Vince come out very aggressively, goes up with a high kick that does not find its time, and instead Miller kind of forces him to the ground. Now you're seeing Jim play inside of Pichel's guard. And I feel like Jim is going to be able to pass here. But to his credit, Vince gets really good regard here. It seems to be trying to move up a little bit more and more onto a higher guard. And it has thrown in a couple strikes here that aren't bad from that position. I think he just uppercutted somebody in his guard. Not something I see a ton. Yeah, he's now at the openish guard. It's kind of like a knee shield that I don't think is going to protect him too long here. And does kick Jim Miller out and is able to get back up. Credit over to Vince. Man, that's awesome. Starts to knee at the thigh over here. Vince's awareness of the position and being able to stay out of danger is massively important in these situations. Vince trying to go for a guillotine here. I'm going to need Vince to acknowledge and not go into it. You want to pass here, bro. You don't want to stay in that half guard and allow him to potentially get that guillotine. But here's the good news. That cage allows him some opportunity where his head pops out. So now just continuously being heavy on Jim Miller, using the cage position to grind against the back and the back of the head of Jim Miller. Excellent work here by Vince. This is much better. However, now we are seeing Jim Miller start to regard. I wouldn't be surprised if Jim starts trying to throw up an armbar here, or even maybe sneaks in a triangle, going almost to like a rubber guard. Look at this flexibility by Jim Miller. Beautifully done. And my stream is buffering. Fuck you, stream. So give me a moment on this. Oof. Pops right out of it. Good job, Vince. Vince now rushes back in. Miller does a great job. Almost gets the regard, but instead is going to have to concede this almost not even twister side control, full mount attempt. Like we're seeing Vince slowly just accept this half guard position to start dropping in a few punches here. Miller not really 100% covering up, but blocking some of them. Seemed to just use his leg to pendulum on the outside. Now he's looking to maybe attack the back here. That's a much better avenue. This could be a calf crusher if Vince does not go the right way. Vince has to be very careful. He throws a punch to the back of Jim Miller's face. He's going to have to clear this knee 100% to make me feel a lot better about it. That's leaving himself super open. Comes back in, finds his way into a much safer avenue. In that half guard again, throws a couple punches to Jim Miller, who has to eat a few, and now is recalibrating what he might want to do here. Shoulder shrug into the face. And Jim, I think Jim's jiu-jitsu always looks really solid, but it is a little bit more muted here with Vince Pichel doing a really good job and almost kind of setting up like this mount through this almost head and arm attempt here. Great work by Vince Pichel. Very solid round for him. Now, if we're talking for ground control time, the first round for Miller, it was 126. Second round was 105. In the second round for Pichel, though, it is 205. So things have shifted very nicely in Pichel's favor. It could very much be his round. So it could be tied up at one apiece. And if we get them to stand back up in this next series for the third round, if we go to such thing, it might be a very close fight. I mean, the other thing to take note of here is I'm not seeing Pichel do a ton of damage, but control positionally is really important. And Miller doing a really good job of making sure that he doesn't take too many blows. I think Miller was almost trying like this lockdown sweep. Miller almost giving up the lockdown just so he can take a few punches to the face, but maybe trying to get that half guard over, maybe hitting that electric chair banana split. Has to give it up, as now you are seeing Vince start to unload a little unwieldy, but hey, oh fuck, yells at him and says, come on. I don't want that man to yell at me. I'm just glad I don't fight him. That's a good reminder. We're not fighters, kids. Oof. What a day. All right, so that is where we are at currently with the fights. We are going in right now to the third round for Jim Miller, Vince Pichel. A little nerve-wracking, kids. This is a tough fight. Let's see who is able to implement more standing up, because I feel like whoever wins standing up might be taking the lead candidate for who is going to win this overall fight between the two of them. All right. What else do I have for you guys? That's the first time in Herring's. So, also to note, that is the first time in Herring's 11-year career that she's officially lost by knockout or submission. So, interesting to note there. Good statistical information by our news junkies over on this side. Fresh off his win at UFC 252 in Las Vegas, Chris Docus heads right back to work as a police officer in Philadelphia, saying, I have to be at work on Tuesday night at 6 p.m. And we're already back in the action. They didn't really give a fuck. There was no pomp and circumstance. They just cut right back into the feed. Here we are. Now, Jim Miller is on the bottom side here of a Vince Pichel, again, kind of in that like half guard position. And now Vince is working on controlling the arm here for a split second. Looked over at Kimura. Didn't really have much to it. Miller starting to re-guard, almost looking to see if he could sneak in a triangle here. Vince tossing aside the legs. Nice. Look at this. Beautifully done over by Vince Pichel. Very nice control over on this side. Now for this, it's takedowns. Miller is 2 for 2 at 100%, while Pichel is 2 for 3, which, all things considered, in a very close fight, do make a little bit of the difference. Now, for a split second there, it looked like Miller was looking again for that knee bar, and very savvy to it, Vince Pichel starts to slow him down. Stuffing him with a few punches over here, has the ability to take the back for Jim Miller. He's going to be able to wear him out. I don't know that I love the back take here as much as I love the punches that he can be taking or the control that he can be making from this, because he's grabbing the wrist, starting to try and seep in. I think he feels Jim Miller's power starting to drain from him, and he figures, why the fuck not? Why not try to get a rear naked choke here if I can get one? Very interesting. Miller beautifully works on the bottom. Now this is really dicey on how we're going to throw these knees from this position. But Jim Miller sagging him down, creating a little bit of control back for himself, trying to go over to the back. Vince Pichel now really trying to work a 2-on-1 as he's starting to try and stand up as well. Ooh, nice guillotine attempt, and almost uses it as leverage as a sweep. And now Miller's going to be able to work on top. 255. This is a lot of time still left to go here. This is really interesting. Now, Miller, if he could unload here, he might be able to even things out, because originally we were looking at the momentum shift over to Vince Pichel's. But if Jim Miller can throw in some strikes, I guess the only question is, how tired is he and how durable is Vince in the middle of this section of the fight? 2.5 minutes left to go, and you are seeing Vince do his best to try and get back up slowly but surely. The hard part is Vince might have been the one to have done more damage in this position. Now he rolls out of it and now comes on top and switches the position. Almost magically, these two have just continued to switch back and forth. Miller now on his journey to try and stand back up, almost allowing Vince to have a difference of taking that back control, but gives it up and now is back up on top, pushing Vince into the cage. The transitions here are great. And now Vince coming in with some violent elbows and a knee over to Jim Miller. I think he's depleting so much of Jim Miller's energy, because you are seeing Jim just exhaustingly trying to keep him against the cage. And Vince is a very difficult guy to keep up against the cage. Ooh, now Miller eats a knee to the midsection, starts backing up. His hands are a little slow to come back up. And Vince looking all the more like he wants to go in for the kill here. This is a very, very nerve-wracking moment for Jim Miller. Vince Pichel in on a single leg. He was at a double, switches it over. Has to be very careful of Jim Miller's guillotine here, but now is starting to get in with some knees that look really solid. Jim switches the position on him, but doesn't look like he's trying to strike as heavily as Pichel was. I think Jim he's tired, man, and understandably so, but this is not the time you want to be tired with somebody who has a lot of knockout power in them. He's not fully retreating, but he's not looking like he is fully within his power range. Jim Miller throwing up a guillotine with 45 seconds left to go in this fight, almost putting everything he's got into it, and Pichel is just kind of eating it in this position. You are seeing Pichel not really acknowledging the 2-on-1 hands over here, and does pop out. Now he's just in Miller's guard. This is why you see Miller get so many goddamn fight of the night bonuses. Just looking at this man's career, this was a great matchup to put on paper, even almost as exciting in person. Yeah, I don't care who I talk to after this one. This has been a dope fight. And Pichel, even within the guard with a little bit of up kicks to worry about, is still throwing in some strikes to try and make a good decision for the referees and the judges, and you will see it expire the full time. What is up, D-Buckface? You really came here at a great time, and Pichel helps Miller up at the very end. The two of them hug, and you see Pichel feeling pretty good about his chances of winning this one. Wow. What a fight, everybody. I like fights like that. They make my job easy. It's the fights that kind of blow that we sit here and, it's not the easiest job in the world when people are a little slow on the action. I think the fights we talk about with that. But hey, listen, we're here to watch everybody. We're here to give them their proper due as fighters. But, some fights are boring. What are you going to do? We'll see how quickly they return. So just to remind you guys, over on the Instagram, we're going to kill the stream at the top of the hour. So as soon as we get the fight result and hear a little bit about the interview, we're going to go and make a new stream. And that goes for all of you watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope. We will kill the stream at the top of the hour, but we're going to make a new one. So don't go too far. Stick with us for the main event. And listen, if you guys are too poor to actually order the pay-per-view, don't worry about it. You're going to watch along with us, and you're going to have a great time. So just to remind you guys, watch the next few minutes with us. We're going to kill the stream and then come right back to your friends over at Grappling Hour on YouTube, Facebook, and on Periscope, and on here on the Instagram. 29-28, 29-28, and 29-27 for a unanimous decision for Vince from Hell Pichel. Congratulations to you, sir. What a way to return to the octagon. Man, Vince is looking strong like bull right now. So I think Bruce Buffer is trying to tell him, like, yo, bro, get the fuck on out of here and go on over to your interview. I like this. Cool Like Korean says, I'm not picking anymore. Hey, man, it happens. Or I'm picking the guy I want to lose. That also comes back to haunt you, just to let you know. Vince Pichel on control time was able to change things significantly in that second round with 3 minutes and then 2 minutes and 40 seconds. But that third round, just all around, so much fun to see the way that they almost switch positions continuously. Even when Vince was going for that high kick and didn't get it, it's just every single moment he was having to react in it was calm, composed. What's up, Marcos? This is a great fucking fight. We're going to hear what Vince has to say. And if I know Vince, he'll always have something memorable to say to Joe Rogan, especially with his mustache. Here we go. What's up, Piranha? Good to see you, bud. Joe Rogan is asking, how does it feel to get back in there after a year off? And Vince is saying it was amazing. He felt great. Vince says it was a pretty tough fight, and Joe Rogan says it was a great fight. And Vince says, hey, man, you guys are all sleeping on me for my ground game because of Gillespie, but, I'm not that guy, man. And Vince says, man, yeah, Vince is giving credit to Jim Miller as a black belt, saying, man, he subs really tough black belts. So they're going to give him a nice little send-off right over here. Eddie is yelling and giving some nice cheers to everybody there. And speaking of cheers, we're going to tell you guys, don't go anywhere. Come right back in a couple minutes. We're going to take a moment to shut this down and restart it back up. So Go get yourself something to drink, go use the restroom, go do whatever it is you need to do. We will be right back before you even know it, but make sure you come see us again. And remember, if you don't follow along with us, go check out our friends over at Nogi BJJ Gear, buy some gear over from them, use the promotional code Grappling Hour 15. That's all I'm asking you guys to do. Anyway, my name's Rafa Sparza. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back in about 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. At Grappling Hour on all the places you are watching. BRBs.